Tonight's VFL National Panasonic Cup match is proudly brought to you by National Panasonic and Nanda, the all-Australian pasta company.
And a very good evening and welcome to TVO's exclusive coverage of tonight's National Panasonic game from the Sydney Cricket Ground under lights, where the Swans take on the Brisbane Bears. Most people would probably favour the Swans primarily because of the fact that they've been together much longer than the Brisbane Bears. We'll find out as the night progresses. My co-commentator tonight is Jacko, not the man who has a crew cut and a lack of teeth when he played in Melbourne, but Nat Jackson, and the last time he donned a Guernsey was with Cooperoo. Good evening, Nat.
Thanks, Grant. Good evening, viewers.
Well, Nat, we saw the first practice match against Hawthorn about 3 weeks ago when Hawthorn really kicked them off the ground and won by 23 goals. But after the game, Paul Cronin said to Alan Jeans that, in fact, the Brisbane Bears did learn a lot from that game.
Yeah, I think it's early days yet. We can't be too critical at this stage, Grant, but one of the good things that came out of the match was the encouraging form of Mark Micken, the ex-South Australian footballer. Wayne Banfield, former Essendon player, played very, very well. He'll be an asset to the Bears this year. I think Philip Walsh and Dale Dixon were also two good footballers that did it very, very well. The practice match form was not that encouraging, but I think...
Scramble of play where it looks like...
Well, they did play well together in patches. Now, tonight in the National Panasonic competition, this is a knockout competition. There are 14 teams in the comp. This is how the competition has progressed so far.
The story so far. In the opening match, Geelong made the long trip from Cardinia Park to down a disappointing Collingwood. The Cats trailed by 12 points at half-time, but thanks to the brilliance of Gary Ablett, Paul Couch and company, they came back to win by 20 points. Last year's runner-up Carlton met Fitzroy in the first of the Saturday night games, and 11,000 people saw the Blues control the match right throughout. With former skipper Wayne Johnston displaying outstanding form, it was Carlton by 11 points. Melbourne looked like the Demons of old in more ways than one when they beat Richmond on February 24. Sporting the old dark blue Guernseys and led by the mercurial Robert Flower, Melbourne withstood a third-quarter revival by the Tigers to register a 16-point victory. Reigning champions Hawthorn crushed North Melbourne by 40 points 3 days later, but only after the Kangaroos fought back hard early in the second half. But with Gary Ayres and John Platten taking over in the final term, the Hawks proved far too classy. A week ago, the West Coast Eagles made a triumphant entry into the big league with a stunning win over the hapless Bulldogs. After a horror start, the boys from WA won by 40 points and earned the admiration of the footy public. And last Saturday, Essendon showed just why they had the mighty Bombers tag when they blitzed and killed her by 43 points. And in doing so, the men from Windy Hill showed they'll be bouncing back after a disappointing 86.
So I think most people would have expected Collingwood to beat Geelong. Carlton have proven just how good a side they are. Melbourne are tipped to be the big improvers this year. Hawthorn, you really can't tip against Hawthorn in any sort of a game. The West Coast Eagles, most people are tipping a big year for the Eagles. It looks as though they could have got the ball rolling right from the very start. And, of course, Essendon have been so strong for the last few years that once again it's almost impossible to tip against Essendon. Let's have a look at tonight's game. We see the Brisbane Bears play the Swans. The Swans team's first. Carter at fullback, Nat, a strong fullback and a courageous, gutsy player.
It's a good centre line right down from the full-back line right through to full forward. All those players that get a game in just about any VFL sides, I think.
Dennis Carroll comes back from injury. Merv Nagel in the middle, replacing the injured Greg Williams, the Brownlow medalist, who'll be out for a few more weeks. And, of course, Capper at full forward.
He'll be a danger player. We'll have to watch him all night, I'd say. Give him a yard and he'll take a mile.
And Ironmonger in the ruck, one of their strong players, back from a bad year last year as far as injury was concerned, and he will lead the rucks for the Swans again this season.
They tell me he's a lot fitter than he has been in the past, so I'm looking to big things for him this year. I'm sure Tom Havey is too.
Well, let's have a look at the side we're all looking forward to, and that's the Brisbane Bears. This is how Peter Knights has put his team on the ground for tonight's match. Page at fullback, Reynoldson at centre half-back, Rains in the middle, the class player, Mark Williams, ruck roving, Donnell at full forward, a bit of a surprise, and Buckley at centre half forward. Yeah,
unfortunately, there's been a quick change there. I think Greg Page is out through his contracted a virus, won't be playing tonight. Jeff Rains has had his 4th VFL club, so Jeff's got a point to prove. Let's hope he can start to do it from here on in. Mark Buckley's been showing good form in the practice matches, as has Steve Reynolson. Matt Campbell from South Australia. Mark Williams has led the side well. Mark Micken's an interesting footballer, which I think we're going to see some big things from him in years to come too.
And Philip Walsh with his third club of the year. He started off with Collingwood, has now moved across to Richmond for a couple of seasons and now finds himself on the wing for the Brisbane Bears. So I think all in all a fairly balanced side. As far as selections go, the heart says to go with the Bears, the head says to go with the Bears, but the heart says, well, I really must go with the Swans just on exposed form in previous years. Nat?
I feel that the Swans must start favoured in view of their early season form. They thrashed the Northern Territory in Darwin on an early season practice match. They've accounted for Hawthorn in the last 2 weeks in a practice match by 3 points. Their other 2 matches have been intra-club practice matches, but most of these guys have played together for 4 or 5 years now. They haven't recruited that heavily, but they've got the basis of a good side there.
OK, well, let's go to the Sydney Cricket Ground. They're about to bounce the ball. Our commentators tonight are Dennis Cometti, Bob Skilton and Peter McKenna.
We have the Swans kicking towards the southern end of the ground. Mark Williams keen to set things in motion, as you can see. A man who no doubt tonight will lead from the front. So away we go in Sydney, the first competitive game of the Brisbane Bears. They're the visitors here tonight. Micken opposed to Ironmonger at the first centre bounce. It's one down by Ironmonger towards half forward. Coming through strongly is Reynolson, high up and under. Missed on the outer side by Murphy. The hand pass comes out from Rains. A chance for Carroll on the outer side. Scrambled, attempted a kick out there by Banfield. He's awarded the free kick. He'll take it at right half forward and he gets 15 metres. It brings him inside 50. So the Bears move it forward first. What pressure there must be on them tonight. Banfield. This will test him. About 40 metres from goal. In he comes. Left footer long towards full forward. Pack at the fall of the ball. Off hands. A chance for the Swans to clear the area. And away they come. They run it out. High kick from Bolton towards centre wing. Coming down the ground though, it's all Bears. And the mark is taken down there by Williams. Williams the hand pass across to Reynolds and he runs towards half forward. Telling kick towards full forward once more. Swans bring it to the ground down there. It's forced through for a behind by Carter. So the first score is on the board.
Dennis, so Steve Reynolson at centre half back really showing a lot of confidence, leaving Coleman, coming up the ground and really set up that forward thrust.
Rod Carter, the ever reliable fullback for the Swans. How many great games has he played for them as after coming across from Fitzroy. It's out towards the half-back line. A couple of Swans players in there. There's Mark Bayes knocking it back towards centre wing. In goes Craig Holden. He picks it up. He hooks it back towards half-forward, and the mark has been taken by Paul Hawke. Now, Hawke is right on between centre wing and half-forward flank. He's looking back, Kappa, and out comes the hero of the Sydney crowd. There he is, Warwick Kappa, number 39, led beautifully for that, and that's exactly what he has to do.
On replay, Kappa, an excellent mark. Not forgetting that last year, Warwick Kappa kicked 92 goals for the Sydney Swans. He's played 54 games. I'm not going to comment on the haircut.
Well, I'll comment on the kicking. This might test him out a little bit, Bob, from the 50-metre line, as you could see, that awkward-looking style and off the side of the boot and through for 1 point.
I think, as you said, Pete, when you've got to overstretch and try to get that extra distance, you often do go offline.
I think the kick was like the haircut. This is Smith to put the ball back into play. It's a point apiece. Going straight down the middle with confidence. Telling kick two. He pinpoints the ball and finds Reynolson inside the centre square. Good play by the Bears. There's run up from Dixon. Ball comes across now. Bears will clear the area. This is Micken. Smothered off the boot. It spills back though. Chance there for the Bears to work it forward. Again, Micken gets the chance and eventually succeeds in getting the ball towards their half-forward line. Scramble develops. Away comes Williams. Williams with support inside. Kick is half blanketed off the boot. Now a chance for the Swans. Good tackle applied down there. Going in solidly was Buckley. Locked the ball against his Swans rival and there'll be a bounce.
Good decision there though.
Bobby, if Steve Williams is anything like Mark, he'll be a typical goer.
Yes, Mark Williams is that.
Bounce at half forward. One down by Buckley. Banfield is in there battling. The Swans try and clear their area. Over the ball is Mitchell. He's bundled out of it. Mitchell's going to get the free kick, almost in the true centre half-back position. Point apiece, no breeze to speak of. Ideal conditions for football as Mitchell drives towards the centre here at Sydney Cricket Ground. It's fisted forward out there by Waterson. Socket off the ground by Waterson. Inside half-forward. Coming across the ground is Carter. decides against picking the ball up. He sockers back towards centre field. Walsh emerges with the ball, gets the hand pass over the top. A chance for Buckley. Inside goes the hand pass. With the run of it is Dixon. Dixon shrugs off a tackle. He's 35 metres out from goal, and he misses to the right-hand side. The second score for Brisbane, another behind. They lead by a solitary behind then early in this first term.
That was Dale Dixon, of course, one of the influx of players from the south. Coming up here is Bernard Toohey. Oh, beautiful pass as he gets it across to a new player in Peter Quirk for the Swans. Onto the left foot he goes towards half-forward Coleman. In fact, it was Tony Moore was out-positioned on that occasion, and the umpire has elected to come in and bounce it halfway between the centre of the ground and centre half back for the Brisbane Bears. Pack of players in there around the ball. There's Micken. Oh, beautifully got it down. It's knocked further afield. That was by Steve Williams. Oh, there was a strong tackle. The ball comes loose to Paul Hawke. He straightens up into the open goal. I think he put it through. Wait on the goal umpire. He had. First goal of the game, kicked by Paul Hawke.
It's a lovely goal by Paul Hawke. Swooped on the ball when it came loose. On replay now, we see it tap wide. Reynoldsson. Campbell couldn't gain possession. The loose ball coming out to Paul Hawke. Steadies, straightens up, and no mistake about that one. And it's good to see that Paul Hawke looks to have overcome that knee operation.
Just over 5 minutes played in the opening term then. And the Swans lead it 1-1 to 2 points. Away come the Bears, though. A hand pass comes out wide, and they drive it down towards their half-forward line. But the mark is taken in defence for the Swans out there by Bernard Toohey. Toohey at left half back, going for distance, back around the outer side. At the fall of the ball is Coleman. Reynoldson's been his master so far in the game. Mitchell is roving the pack. It comes wide. Dexterous hand pass goes out quickly from Williams to Rains. Down towards the half-forward line. Toohey was the leaper down there. Off hands, Neagle gets the ball. Back it comes towards Murphy. He runs into a dead end, supplied by Williams. Ball is ferreted out wide of the pack. Walsh a quick hand pass to Buckley. Ball comes across towards half-forward. In fact, that's Buckley. Down he goes from the Waterson kick. I think it was intended initially for him. But watch this one.
There's a beautiful hip and shoulder by Mark Buckley, quite fair. And as we see, Mark Williams, I should say, as we see Mark Buckley go back to take his free kick, I personally didn't think it was a free kick.
I think he made sure, Bobby, that the umpire saw it. Mark Buckley, formerly, of course, of the Carlton and St Kilda clubs in Melbourne, would only be 35 metres out. Oh, it's an awkward-looking one. Is it just in or not? Yes, it's a goal to the Bears, kicked by Mark Buckley.
So Buckley taking advantage of the free kick. As you said, an awkward-looking kick. It's 7 points to 8, with the Bears really showing a lot of confidence. Their handball, they're backing up well, and they've got players running everywhere, and I think they've surprised the Swans with their pace at this moment.
Mark Buckley, you saw on screen there, will certainly have his work cut out tonight, playing on Dennis Carroll, who has been an outstanding player in the last 2 years. Now, will the umpire pay the advantage? No, it'll come back, and back to the centre of the ground, a free kick going to the Sydney Swans. Number 16 for the Bears, you saw there on screen, is Mark Micken. And Merv Neagle will receive this free kick right in the centre of the ground. An important player, has been dogged with injury since coming up to the Swans from Essendon. There's Kappa up in front. Oh, he took his eye off that one at the split second. Stevie Wright, as usual, burrowing in. Chris Waterson, a hurry kick right out wide now. David Murphy is the player on screen. He's got a paddock to run in if he wants to. He picks it up and kicks it long. He's looking up towards the forward line. The big flyers are there. It's hit to the ground. There's Murphy. Smothered, though, beautifully there by Waterson. Oh, intercepting his Hawke. Is this his second goal? He snaps it back beautifully. Did it make it? Yes, a great goal. His second of the match to Paul Hawke.
Paul Hawke intercepted that hand pass.
1-2. We've played just over 8.5 minutes in this first term. Certainly the endeavour is there from the Bears tonight. A chance for Dixon to knock them forward. It goes down towards their half-forward line. The Swans with a high kick back towards centre field. It was from Toohey. Ball comes to ground, socket off the ground by Williams. Back towards the Bears half-forward line. Big Ironmonger is up. Couldn't take the mark. And a high tackle applied by Ironmonger. Banfield will be the recipient of a free. on the line of the square, the attacking side of centre. Runners outside him. He elects to play on, gets it across to support from Walsh. Walsh goes out wide, taken on the outer side now by number 21 out there, and I'm not sure who that is. It's Norman wearing a Guernsey that was assigned to Jim Edmund, but Ironmonger's in the way in any case down there for the Sydney Swans. He lumbers away and drives towards the outer side. No mark taken, off hands. A chance for the Bears once again. They're working hard. They're working earnestly out there. McMullen got the hand pass across initially. Reigns over the ball. Back it comes towards McMullen. A high kick down towards full forward. Back into the air. Good strong mark taken in front down there by John Ironmonger.
It's a lovely mark by Ironmonger. And the Bears, I think, just blazing away too much with not a lot of height up on the forward line. They need to use the ball a lot more.
Swans bring it out of defence towards halfback. A big fist away was by Coleman, grabbed by Neagle. He's caught. Oh, he actually threw that. The umpire let it go. Stevie Wright goes in after it, drops it. Oh, it's grabbed there for the Bears. This is Craig Evans, the former Geelong boy, having a pot shot at the goals. It's very close, but just offline and through for a point. There he is, number 11, Craig Evans. Only a young guy, came up from Geelong, was a battling player down there, couldn't crack it in the seniors, was trying to make a name for himself here with the Brisbane Bears. Carter, a beautiful pass out to Steve Wright. He comes to the half-back line and brings it right up towards centre wing. Up they go. Oh, that's a beautiful mark to Bayes, and Bobby got a ton of ability, that kid.
He certainly has used it well. He got it across to Bolton. Well defended down there by Waterson's. Very close to the line. Over the line, in fact, and a throw-in will take place. On replay now, well, what chance there did Matthew Campbell have? Absolutely none at all.
Campbell will be an interesting player to watch too. Third in the McGeary medal last year in South Australia, and comes across with a great ability, apparently, Matthew Campbell.
That's him in centre screen there. Number 25 will have a throw in out towards left half forward for the Swans, who lead it 13-9. Approaching 11 minutes in this first term. Micken, number 16, opposed to Coleman. This is Mitchell emerging with the ball for the Swans. Appear to be pushed in the back. He'll take a free kick on the outer side. He's too far out to score. He would be at best part of 60 metres from goal. Standing the mark is Waterson. Barry Mitchell wants to play on, but the umpire bringing him around. So now he will send the Swans forward, told to play on, drives it down towards Kappa. Kappa battling down there, in from the side. Reynoldson, in fact, got a first to it. Socket off the ground by Coleman, down towards full forward. Here's Matthew Campbell, picks up, tackled by Kappa, scrambles a kick out of goal, but only as far as this man, Bolton. And now Bolton has a chance to convert for the Swans. That was good aggressive tackling, getting back there. Kappa applied the tackle and forced the error from Matthew Campbell. David Bolton. 45 metres out from goal. I think he slid it across the face. He has. Behind for the Swans. They move along to 2-2-14. Brisbane a 1-3-9, approaching 12 minutes in the term.
Peter Smith on screen has played a number of games with the North Melbourne club at fullback. In fact, there's been a bit of a jack of all trades as he brings it towards the halfback line. Coleman was there, but it was too slow as it's beautifully taken away by Williams. Up towards full forward. Oh, good mark. Was it paid? No, said the umpire. As coming away is Dennis Carroll. Coming in to help him is Craig Holden. Oh, well done, Mark Buckley, as he came in to lend a hand. Gives a hand pass across, and here they come again through Dale Dixon. A pot shot at the goals. He's offline, though. Oh, gee, the Bears player hit the fence very hard. Let's have a look at that in replay. Well, that was Frankie Donnell. Look at this. Oh, with the shoulder right into the fence, and it could have been very dangerous. Here's the kick-off from fullback coming out towards the centre of the ground. The mark was dropped there, but eventually it was paid to Rick Norman. Hand pass comes across. Here's the big fella Micken. A high ball, bringing it right down towards Carter against his opponent down there in Garton. And eventually the ball beats them both over the line in that forward pocket for the Bears.
Wait for the throw-in. Garton will oppose Ironmonger here. The Bears starting aggressively. I'm sure they'd be happy. In particular, Peter Knights with his start. It's one forward of the pack by Ironmonger. The Bears close to the boundary out there. Bartholomew forced out of bounds, and will have a boundary throw-in. Only about 15 metres around from that right hand behind post. A crowd of about 3, 4, perhaps a few more thousand here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. One out of defence by the Swans. They go towards the outer side. Morwood was up in front, but the mark is taken behind by the big fellow recruited from South Australia. This is Micken. Micken forward of right centre wing, lobs one back towards full forward yet again. Garton comes out, interfered with his opponent down there. Ironmonger gives away the kick, so John Ironmonger will take a resultant free. midway between full-back and half-back, looking for support, goes out wide, puts the ball into the path of this man Potter. Potter has it at half-back, hooks it down towards centre wing. Certainly the Bears have got the numbers out there. This is Waterson. Waterson draws a man, goes over the top to Micken, lays it off. The hand pass comes in from Rains. Hand pass over the top then from Norman. Good football. It comes to Waterson. Waterson chips it in through the hands of Banfield. He's got the run of it at half-forward, pushed in the back. That was good football by the Bears.
Well played, Banfield. He knew that the player had to push him in the back to get at the ball. Onto the left foot, he kicks wide. Oh, beautifully positioned ball. That was very, very good football as he found his teammate there in Steve Williams.
Poor defence, though, by Paul Hawke. He let Williams come right down the ground, and Hawke did not go with him at all.
Now, Steve Williams, the brother of the captain of the Bears, Mark, of course, from about 30 metres out or way offline and through for a point with the Bears, when a goal would have been very handy indeed there. And the Brisbane Bears have moved on to 1 goal for a total of 10, trailing Sydney 2-2-14. See on screen Rod Carter bringing it right out with a long kick. It could have been interference against Mark Williams, but the umpire says play. This is the pace of Frank Donnell as he gives a hand pass back. And back it comes to him. That was good play by Donnell, but eventually he was under pressure and gave a poor hand pass. It's grabbed there by Bartholomew, a young Swans player. He hurriedly kicks it up towards the half-forward line and puts it out of bounds on the full.
Reynoldsson, who's been a fine player so far, a stalwart in that defence to take the kick. He's at left half-back, looking for something downfield. Not much on offer. Goes for the high kick then towards Buckley. It's fisted away by Carroll. It's all Swans behind the pack. Here's a chance for Murphy. Swings it across his body. Back towards Micken, though. Micken knocks it forward. A chance for the Swans. Over the ball is Ironmonger. Brilliantly done into the path of Hawke. Hawke goes down towards half forward. Long, well-weighted kick towards Kappa. And Kappa takes a brilliant mark.
Yes, he stood his ground well on that occasion. Kept his eye on the ball. Virtually gave as much the delight of the crowd as we could see. And it virtually gave no chance at all to Peter Smith. Stood his ground well. Used his body, just there he used his body, and that's the replay of an excellent mark by Warwick Kappa. Kappa with 1 point so far to his credit.
About 20 metres out. Kicking at the Swans' third goal. Chance to stretch their lead. Stabs at goalward, puts it through. 3-2 to 1-5.
Well, there's no doubt about Warwick Kappa. There he is on screen. It's ended as we look at this in replay, but he is an exciting player, Bob.
Good play there by Ironmonger, who tapped the ball forward. And Hawke, seeing the lead coming from Kappa, and Kappa used his body well. Peter Smith having no chance whatsoever. A good goal.
Well, that's the perfect kick a forward loves, when the backman's out of position and you're dropping back, and that was kicked beautifully to him. As we see Micken against Ironmonger, the big fist away by Ironmonger. Out wide it comes to Dale Dixon. He's got a paddock to run in. He hooks it back towards the pocket. Down there was Banfield. He overran the ball. In goes Bartholomew. Good play by the young fellow as he goes in again, but he is dispossessed of the football. Paul Hawke's in after it now. It's grabbed there by Holden. Holden hand passes backwards towards the goals. Rod Carter's got, he tried to be a bit fancy, old Rocket there, as he brings it to the half-back line. Up they go. It's over the back of the pack with Paul Hawke. Can he get the run of it? Oh, he's just knocked offline. Players pouncing in it. As usual, Mark Williams was in there in the pack. And eventually, that's number 21 is Rick Norman, of course, coming out with the ball. But the umpire elects to bounce it on true centre wing position. Ironmonger again against Micken. Well, there's Barry Mitchell. He's caught with the ball. Now, the umpire might have said he threw that. Yes, he did, in fact.
It was a case that he thought the forearm came too high.
That is Chris Stacey with the ball, playing on the wing tonight, Chris, as he brings it towards the centre of the ground, where Coleman takes a very easy mark.
Too easy, wasn't it? 20-minute quarters, of course, these. We've played just over 18 minutes now as Coleman drives up towards half forward. Chance in front for Matthew Campbell. Couldn't hang on. Over the ball is Williams. Shovels out a hand pass. It goes directly to Carroll, though. He fires it back into the forward line. Kappa one out. Takes another spectacular mark. Well, Smith has really got his hands full down there. And so has Kappa. He's got the footy.
Yes. How would you play Kappa, Bob? Do you get in front or from the side or what?
Well, Smith hasn't quite got the height that one would imagine. I certainly don't think he can play from the front position like that. He's got to try and gamble that he comes at least from the side and punches the ball away.
Kappa kicking at his second. He stretches the lead to 15 points as he puts it through for a goal. The Swans are 4-2, Brisbane are 1-5.
On replay, we can see what could possibly have been a free kick on that occasion to Williams. Carroll taking possession, putting the ball forward, and Smith playing from the front once again. Kappa once again using his body well as we see the Swanettes, and very happy with a goal by Warwick Kappa.
So the test is well and truly now with Brisbane. They've got to earn some respect. They've got to fight back here. The game already at an awkward situation for them. There's John Ironmonger, bounce in centre field. Micken opposed to Ironmonger, indecisive stuff. Mark Williams gets a hand pass across to Dixon. Kick comes towards half forward. Awkward bounce down there. A chance for the Bears. Snapshot towards goal by Garton. What's he done with it? He's put it through for a behind. There's the big fellow, recruited from Glenelg.
Dennis, they're having a lot of trouble up forward. That's where they're falling down. They're winning the ball well around the ground. Their handball is very constructive, but when it gets forward, they've got no cohesion whatsoever.
And of course, playing on Rod Carter, you have to get the ball delivered beautifully to you because he's an excellent full-back as he brings it towards the half-back line. Tony Morwood, a long way down from the half-forward line, kicks it wide, but there's the siren to end the first quarter here at the SCG. A very good quarter by the Swans, and they lead at quarter time, 4 goals to 26 to...
Exclusive coverage of tonight's national Panasonic game under lights from the Sydney Cricket Ground. Just checking that quarter time score again. The Swans 4-2-26 lead the Brisbane Bears 1-6-12. Nat, how do you see the first quarter?
I think the Swans, being a slightly taller side, they're marking a lot better around the ground. Their teamwork's a little more precise, even though the Bears are trying things. They're just not spot on with their teamwork, and it's coming apart in places.
I thought the early stages of the game looked very good for the Bears. They seemed to start the game chock full of confidence, no pre-match nerves.
No, which is good to see. They'll learn every game, Grant. The thing that I think they're lacking at the moment is they're not waiting down at the back of the packs.
Well, we saw plenty of teamwork. There was good handball to start off with. They backed up. The only problem was Hawke, ruck roving, has been allowed plenty of latitude, and he's kicked 2 goals up to quarter time.
Yeah, Hawke's playing very well after coming back from a serious injury last year. He's kicked the 2 goals, as you say. He's very, very fast, but the aspect that needs mentioning, I think, is the fact that the player that should be on him isn't coming down the field when the ball comes past the centre. He's ruck roving, and he's just got a free licence, it looks to me like, Grant. Someone should be picking him up.
So plenty of endeavour from the Brisbane Bears, but it's just not enough at this stage on the scoreboard. The most important thing is the fact that Kappa's beating Smith at full forward.
True, he's doing it well too. He looks like a stronger player this year, physically stronger. He's holding his own. It's not John Ironmonger's playing very well too in the ruck. He's beating Micken in the knockouts, but Micken's holding his own around the ground.
I think in the centre, we're expecting a lot from Jeff Rains, who's on Merv Nagel. Usually these players tend to play wide of each other, and I think Jeff Rains has to do a lot more in the second quarter if the Bears are to get back into the game.
Yes, everyone seems to be on Jeff's back at the moment. I'm sure he'll come good as the season progresses. He's finding his feet. Dale Dixon showed a lot of endeavour in that first half, as did Williams, Rick Norman, Waterson and Reynoldson for the Bears.
Yeah, I thought Mark Williams led by example. Micken's been trying hard in the ruck. Dixon, you mentioned. Steve Williams missed that goal about halfway through the first quarter, a vital miss, and I think if he'd kicked that goal, it could have been a little bit different at quarter time.
Sure, well, this is the story of the Bears game so far, missed opportunities.
So let's check those quarter time scores again. 4-2-26 the Swans, Bears 1-6-12, back with the second quarter action after this break.
Swans lead it 4-2-1-6. Goal scorers in that first term. Hawke and Kappa both got 2, and for Brisbane, Mark Buckley, their solitary goal scorer. As we said in the first term, the breeze not a factor. Very still night here in Sydney as the rucks go to it. Indecisive stuff. Mark Williams scrambles a kick forward. It goes about 15 metres. Socket further down ground by Rains and knocked on this time by Garton. Down towards full forward. Here's a chance for Carter as he pushed in the back. No free kick. Banfield showing desperation. He's on all fours. He shovels it out. A chance for Mark Williams to Garton. Garton in the pocket. Hits the post. Good build-up.
Well, that was a good, strong play by the Brisbane Bears there, as you saw the players charging after it as Carter brings it off from fullback. And as usual, they've got that loose man, Bob.
They're reading it well as Hawke puts the ball up towards Hutt's centre wing. Coleman couldn't take the mark. Bay's coming through. Can't play the ball in front of him, though. Actually came off the thigh over the boundary line, and a throw-in will take place. Half-forward flank for the Swans, outer side of the ground. Micken competing against Coleman, with Ironmonger dropping back around centre half back. Micken beaten that time for the tap out. Potter can't get the ball clear. The umpire coming in, I think, to indicate that Stephen Williams will give the ball across and a bounce will take place. Half forward flank for the Swans. Up high is Coleman. Potter once again, well tackled, loses possession. Picked up by Bays, the short kick up towards the forward area. Norman stood his ground well and takes the mark. Plays on immediately, gets it out to Dixon. Dale Dixon puts a high floating kick towards the wing. Stevie Wright stood his ground, showed a lot of courage, didn't know it was coming, and a fine mark to Stevie Wright.
Wright has the ball on the outer side, plus 15 metres now. 4-2 Sydney, 1-7 Brisbane.
Right. 30 the way he's going.
Yes, Donnell very reluctant to come back on the outer side, and still it's being meted out. Well, that's silly football on the outer side.
Steve umpired that well too, Dennis.
Well, now suddenly he's in scoring range. Steve Wright. He's gone from looking for a man on the kickoff line to run a lead to lining up for goal. There it goes on its way. Well, chalked it up to Wright and Donnell. A goal to Sydney. They're fifth. They're 5-2. They lead the Brisbane side 1-7.
Well, that was very poor play, and we'll cross to Barry Breen down on the boundary line.
Thanks very much, Peter. I had to listen to Peter Knights at quarter time, and he was very pleased with the side's endeavour. He was concerned about a couple of players and their ability and their performance during the first quarter, namely Craig Potter, and asked him for a little bit more. But he was pleased with the endeavour. He wanted the forward line to function a little bit more and lead to the ball a little bit more. But
on
overall,
the centre bounce,
he thought it was a fair
Ironmonger
start.
gets a tap wide. It's picked up by Stacey. Stacey puts the ball forward. Couldn't be taken by Donnell. Tapped away by Carter. A good hip and shoulder, but great courage shown there by Evans. Pushing the back from Iron and goes to Banfield. He was then held, but the Swans come away with it. Courtesy of Tui, who puts the ball wide after taking it from Quirk. Rains leading in the race for the ball, but it's over the line before Jeff Rains can gain possession. A throw in, this time on the half-forward flank for the Brisbane Bears.
Bobby, the Brisbane Bears have got plenty of determination, but they just don't seem to be handling the ball as well as the Swans do. They're very, very sure with their teamwork and ball handling.
Buckley was high in the air. Holden comes out with it, gets the hand pass to Bolton. A good turn of speed, then the long kick up towards half forward. Could have been in the back to the Swans, but called play on as Micken gets the hand pass out to Norman. Norman puts it back, and the Bears get out of the danger area, but back into it again with a poor kick that time by Williams coming out of defence. A courageous effort by Murphy, puts it back with Carroll, the ball floating forward. No mark taken that time by Norman, tapped on by Kappa. Norman bundled out of the way, and as tempers become a little frayed, the umpire very quick on the scene to say, give it to me, I'll bounce it about 30 metres out from the Swans' goal. Big pack of players around this bounce. Micken up high, gets a tap, taken by Mark Williams, puts the ball wide, and nobody to try and give the ball to, so elected just to go wide. Murphy picks it up well. He's well tackled, though, by Stacey, and the loose ball carried over the line, a throw-in to take place.
Certainly good play by Stacey, getting back and applying some pressure. 4.5 minutes gone, second term, 32 plays 13. Brisbane desperately need a goal. Ball in centre field. Mark Williams is claimed, ball held to him, and there'll be a bounce. Interesting innovation in Perth football this season in their pre-season practice matches. The night competition has been the wiring of umpires for sound. Eavesdropping. It's very interesting stuff. This is Holden in front. He takes a strong mark despite the efforts of Evans from behind.
Anything strange come across the wires?
A couple of things, yes. There was some eye gouging recently, and the umpire said, get your hands or fingers out of his eyes, and that was all that was said. Seemed it could have been reportable. Reynoldsson, a hand pass, an awkward one. Norman gets it across to the big fellow Micken. He fires it down towards half forward. Down there is Holden. And a good mark is taken by Buckley. Clever hand pass to Mark Williams. Bumped off the kick. It goes down towards Garton at full forward. Bundled out of it by Carter. Donnell overruns the ball. Bartholomew flicks it out. Good play. In fact, that wasn't Bartholomew out there. That was Quirk who did it. Goes towards the outer side. Putting himself in out there was Potter. Rains arrives on the scene. It's 2-on-1. Bays arrives to lend support. This is Campbell. Campbell goes over the top by hand. Playing on the outer side is Walsh. And they didn't stand on ceremony out there, and Walsh wants to go on with it. And if the umpire were wired out there, I think we'd have something interesting to report.
As we look at Bolton here, well, look at that. He's been dispossessed of the ball. He throws Philip Walsh head first straight into the fence. No wonder Philip Walsh wasn't too impressed by that.
No, I'm sure he wasn't. As we see Walsh having a few words now.
Well, he's got the free kick, Bobby, so he'd be happy.
Walsh with the left foot up to the forward area, and that's a good mark. That's a courageous mark once again by Mark Buckley.
Oh.
Trying to prove both Carlton and St Kilda that he can still make the grade. A wobbly old kick, though. Hawke gets the hand pass out. Ironmonger puts it through. Knocked on by Holden. Evans puts the ball out. Mitchell and Dixon. Mitchell, well, I think he just carried the ball over the line, and the throw-in will take place. A lot of courage shown there, though, Pete.
Well, Mark, the big fella at centre-half forward for the Bears, Mark Buckley's taken 2 strong marks and just spoiled it there by trying to play on when he probably should have steadied and gone back.
Tony Moore, the hand pass across to Merv Neagle. Neagle straight down the ground looking for Kappa, and that player does not let him down. Hand pass from Kappa back to Neagle from the 50-metre line. Neagle goes long, well shepherded down there. We're pushing the back if nothing else, but I think it might have gone through for a goal as Neagle's long kick comes through, and full points go on the board to Merv Neagle as the Swans go to 5 goals to 32 with Brisbane on 1-7-13, and I'm sorry, it was 6-2-38.
Well, that is brilliant play. As you see this in replay again, look at Kappa leading out. He's got to do more of that this year instead of propping in the goal square. Come up the ground, and look at this. He took that strong mark. He gave a beautiful hand pass across to Neagle, who backed up well, and from the 50-metre line, a long driving drop punt for a major to the Swans. That's top team play.
Danger signs now for the Bears. Dixon a hurried kick towards half forward. 6-2 plays 1-7. Almost a good mark taken down there in defence for the Swans. It was knocked away though from Carroll. Eventually it's picked up and driven towards the outer side by Tui. Leading in the race out there is Walsh. Walsh hooks it back deep towards the pocket. From behind the leaper is Williams. Couldn't take the mark. Knocked through the pack by Tui. Deflected back towards Garton. He's dragged down about 15 metres out from his own goal. In goes Tui. Desperate defence by Tui. Knocks the ball against the behind post and will have a throw in. Tui involved in the thick of all of that. A couple of times trying to repulse the Bears. There's the boundary throw in. In front was Garton. He was pushed in the back. He'll get a kick.
There's no doubt about that one.
He's only about 15 metres out, Adam Garton. And the Bears desperately needing a goal now to stay in touch. Being competitive, being tenacious, being aggressive isn't enough in this competition. Adam Garton now with a chance. In deliberately. The kick is true. The second goal on the board for Brisbane. They trail 2-7 to 6-2.
Well, as we have a look at this in replay, Ironmonger, straight into the middle of the pack. There's no doubt about that one. Not even a doubt. You see the interchange. This is Mark Roberts coming onto the ground. He'll be out to prove something to the Swans because he was one of the players who left the Swans, and he's gone to full back on Kappa. Now, this will be interesting. He's not a bad young player, Mark Roberts, and one feature of his game, he's a great kick.
From the bounce. Micken doing well in the ruck. Once again gets a tap. Too high for Banfield as Raines puts the ball forward. Buckley coming through. Used the hip and shoulder well. Good plays. It comes out to Carroll from Tui. Then to Holden. Holden towards the wing. And Tony Morwood takes an easy mark. Morwood on centre wing. Members side of the ground. Keeps it wide. A well-placed kick. And the mark taken down there by Potter. Craig Potter. Formerly of Queensland. And towards Kappa. Well covered this time as Micken taps the ball away. Dixon kicks the ball off the ground. Excellent teamwork as it's tapped wide to Bolton. Coming from Tony Morwood. Bolton having all the time in the world to steady. From 50 metres out. Goes long. Punts through off the hands of Reynoldsson. And a 1 point to the Swans to take them to 6 goals, 3-39 with Brisbane on 2-7-19.
I thought young Micken made a bad mistake down there in defence just a moment ago, Bob, where he went for the big punch when he could easily have taken the mark. He was head and shoulders above everyone else.
Long kick from Roberts and a good mark taken down there by Reynoldsson. Reynoldsson started off with a lot of confidence. It's been a bit quieter since. A hand pass across, and we find the Bears going forward. Good mark, free kick, whatever you like, to Frank Dunnell. And Campbell putting the ball forward that time. A 15-metre penalty. Well, it's a good 15 metres as well, which brings him about 40 metres out from goal. Frank Dunnell yet to score. 19-39, a 20-point margin in favour of the Swans. Dunnell. A nice-looking kick off the boot, but not quite accurate. And it's through for 1 point. Kick by Frank Dunnell. So it's 2-8-20, 6-3-39.
As you said earlier, Bob, they're getting plenty of use of the ball, but they're breaking down up forward, the Bears.
11 minutes gone, second term. The Swans through Tui work it forward towards their right centre wing. Chance over the ball for Evans, pushed off it. In goes Neagle, emerges with the ball. And the umpire moves in to bounce it down. Neagle not too happy about that. 6-3-2-8. And the Bears showing a lot of fibres so far, but the skill level of the Swans seems higher. Still a long way to go in this game, though. Bounce down on centre wing. Ironmonger is up to backhander, taken by Potter. Kicks towards half forward in front of the Ludes Bay. Here's a chance behind now for Mitchell. Runs onto the loose ball. Sweeping hand pass intercepted by Campbell. Chance of a quick rebound. Not a particularly good kick. He didn't look. The Swans have got the numbers downfield. Off Quirk's hands. A chance now for Donnell. Knocks it out wide to accommodate support out there. Evans over the ball. Comes back towards number 36. Who's that out there on the ground for the Bears? I'm sorry, I'll go to Donnell in the meantime. He swings it out wide. That's Housley. Housley on the ground. The Rover, who's under suspension in Queensland for home and away matches, but he's playing tonight. Meantime, around the outer side come the Swans. This is Hawke. Hawke about 55 metres out from goal. Tailor-made for Morwood. Interfered with. He'll get the free kick.
I think I'd make a move with Rick Norman at the present moment, Pete. He's having, he looks as though he's short of match fitness.
He did very well early, Bob, but that was a bad free kick to give away, although I think he was going to take the mark anyway, Tony Morwood. It was a beautifully directed kick by Hawke, and Tony Morwood is now only 20 metres out, directly in front.
Coming up for Sydney. Well, he's missed it, I think, or has he? He snuck it in. Not much confidence there, but he puts it through. Sydney 7-3, lead Brisbane 2-8.
There's Morwood running all over the ground, Pete, and I feel that Rick Norman could be having quite a bit of problems there.
Right, he's a great player. Watch this directed kick by Paul Hawke. He's spotted Tony Morwood ducking back. Morwood kept his eye on the ball. Rick Norman caught out of position, had to give away the free kick. But I agree with you. Early in the game, Norman did well, but Morwood, since halfway through the first quarter, is really running him all over the place.
25 points the margin as Micken awaits the centre bounce. His opponent, John Ironmonger. Ironmonger gets the tap. Stacey couldn't quite handle it. Paul Hawke tried to get the quick hand pass up. Tapped over the top that time by Williams. Picked up by Jeff Rains. Rains with a long hand pass out wide. And the long kick down the ground on that occasion by Walsh. Tapped down towards his teammate Gutton, doing everything right there, but couldn't quite get it out to his teammate in Evans. Banfield in underneath the pack again, cannot get the ball clear, and a bounce will take place 15 metres out from the Bears' goal.
Interchange. That's young Brendan McMullen doing a few stretches, about to come on the ground.
And back with a play.
Oh.
Over the boundary line it goes with a big punch there from John Ironmonger, and he's cleared the ball on a number of occasions. Got it right out of the danger zone.
Is that deliberate, Bob?
I don't think you play it that way. Buckley up high. Evans takes the ball, but his kick way offline and out of bounds on the full.
There's Evans. Craig Evans. Certainly that duel between Ironmonger and Micken a feature so far. So the ball comes grandstand side with a high kick. Ironmonger's in front. Micken reduced to spoiling tactics from behind. Smothered off the boot of Evans. Diving on top of the ball is the giant Ironmonger. Ferrets it out. Trying to go through the pack was Murphy. Down he goes. Donnell in close attendance. Comes to Holden. Holden gets the hand pass across towards Quirk. And Quirk goes down towards left half forward. That's a spearing kick. Bounces off the chest of Mitchell, but he was interfered with. He wants to go from left half forward. Checks. Runner inside. There it is. The push in the back. And as a result, his kick goes down towards full forward. Capper was up, a chance to get one off the ground. He's 15 metres out. He snaps back across his body. It hangs in the air. It's off target. A lot of Bears get back, and through it goes for a behind. McMullen is coming on the ground. I think Roberts is off. No, it's not Roberts. It's Garton who's come off the ground. The ball will be put back into play. Mark Roberts driving at grandstand side, or Wongle stand side if you like. Murphy was up, had it knocked away. Leading back in the race though, it's all Swans as Tui gets it to Murphy. In turn it comes to Carroll. Sweeping hand pass over the top. This is Hawke. Looks inside. Plenty of runners inside. He breaks the tackle and goes down towards Capper. Capper fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. This is Norman. Breakers to the outer side. One of whom is this man number 15 out in front, Walsh. And Walsh takes the mark. backing up. The hand pass comes back to Norman. Norman runs up to half-back, goes long towards half-forward, ill-directed. The mark is taken by Holden, and arriving late was Banfield. Holden wasting no time, shovels a hand pass across to Neagle. Neagle goes over the top. With it on the outer side now is Potter. Potter the high kick down towards half-foot. Plenty of Bears at the fall of the ball. Morwood launches himself in that pack. No mark was taken. In goes Hawke. He's met solidly by Campbell. Pulls the ball back towards the kick-off line. Brilliant attempt there. The kick, not so much the mark from Capper. Roberts played it brilliantly, though. Knocked it away from his rival. Comes away with the ball. Kicks towards centre field. It's taken by Stacey. Gets it across to Buckley. Running down the ground is the big fellow Roberts, up from full back. Kicks across centre wing. In front is Banfield. He's been a live wire on the forward line. He wants to go. He's playing by Bartholomew, and that should be holding the ball back.
Yes, I would agree, brothers. I think the umpire giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I thought he was very lucky to get away with that. Now, let's see if he actually runs off. Now, there, off he goes. That is holding the ball. No doubt a bad decision by the umpire after the tackle was made by Bartholomew. And actually, it's going back.
Yes, he was a bit foolish there.
Well, there's Bartholomew giving it now to Tui.
Tui's kick. Looking for Hawke. Hawke in the front position. Couldn't quite take the mark. Tackle too high against Wright, who taps the ball forward for Hawke. Hawke puts a hand pass in. Finds Mitchell under a lot of pressure. Mitchell with a lovely hand pass to Morwood. Tony Morwood straightens up and spears it right through the centre. A beautiful goal to Morwood to take the Swans to 8-4-52. Brisbane 2-8-20.
Yes, and Tony Morwood, ever dangerous. But once again, the teamwork and the disposal of the Swans coming to the fore there. As you see there, Stevie Wright. Look at that. Good team players. He knocks it on to Paul Hawke. Hawke under pressure with the left hand. Gets in a beautiful hand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell to Tony Morwood, who straightens up casually. He's a very cool player, Tony Morwood, and a great player.
Centre bounce once again. Micken, the tap. Holden in front. Was pushed in the back and will take the free kick. Actually, the tackle was too high. And so Craig Holden, 10 metres on the defensive side of the centre. Doesn't wait to come back to the line as he gives it across to Potter. Potter with a lovely kick towards centre half forward. Tony Morwood up in front, but an excellent mark by Rick Norman. Was going to play on with a handball, but tackled from behind, so a 15-metre penalty. Finds Norman, driving the ball straight down the ground. Punched away by Ironmonger. Coming through is Stacey. Good, courageous play by Stacey. Tackled too high. The call play on as Neagle comes through with the ball. Gives the hand pass out wide. Finds Barry Mitchell. Mitchell comes through over the National Panasonic sign. And in the National Panasonic Cup, we find a lovely kick from Barry Mitchell. Picked up by Tony Morwood. Playing an excellent game there now. Puts it wide. Floating kick hits the post. And the Swans go to 8-5-53 with Brisbane 2-8-20.
And certainly the Bears giving away a golden opportunity to Morwood that time. They should have spoiled from behind. Instead, they tried to mark. A fist in there would have made all the difference. It would have come forward. As it was, it slipped behind, and Morwood had the chance to goal. He didn't. But the pressure still on the Bears as Roberts comes grandstand side. They're up number 2 on 1, and Bayes takes a spectacular mark. Right over Matthew Campbell. Launched himself and brought it down. The left footer goes long back towards full forward. Here's that mark again. Bayes superb, and it's resulted in that. Kappa puts it through from point-blank range. It came off hands, and Kappa swept on the ball and ran into an open goal. So Sydney now putting on something of a clinic. They lead 9-5 to 2-8.
Yes, they're doing it well at the moment, Dennis, and it's all their teamwork and use of the ball, whereas the Bears, they're under pressure the whole time that they get anywhere near the ball. They're being tackled and they're being dispossessed far too easily, and they've got no cohesion whatsoever up on the forward line. Kappa read that beautifully over the back of the pack and put it through for his 3rd goal.
Kappa a great focal point up forward as this time Ironmonger gets it through. Mitchell caught one as he slipped.
Lucky he slipped, I think, Bob.
I think it might have been, Dennis. You are right. Siren sounds as Mitchell playing on. The score will not matter because Mitchell was over the mark, so had played on. And at half-time, we see the scores 9-5-59 Swans with the Bears 2 goals 8-20.
The coverage of the National Panasonic game from the Sydney Cricket Ground underlies. Suns at half-time. News not good for the Brisbane Bears. The Swans 9-5-59 lead the Bears 2-8-20. Not going as we expected, Nat.
No, Grant. I'd like to see them a little bit closer, but this has been brought about, I think, mainly by the fact that the Bears are under pressure every time they seem to get the ball. There's a Swans player, or at least one, maybe two or three, every time pouncing straight on them. So they've got no time to get the ball out to a teammate quickly, and that reflects in the score too.
I think the most important part, as you mentioned, is the fact that there's been little or no teamwork from the Brisbane Bears. A couple of times they have looked good, but it's just been too spasmodic, whereas the Swans have been running in 2s and 3s and 4s. They've been backing up. The Bears have been trying to play 1-on-3, and it just doesn't work.
No, you can see by the statistics that even though the Bears have handballed a lot more times, they're not effective handballs. The Swans handball probably only 60–70% of what the Bears have handballed, but they're not going to anybody. They're under pressure. There's no one coming past to take a clean handball and pass to someone downfield. In actual fact, there's really no focal point down the field either, Grant, which is costing us dearly, with the exception, I'd say, Frank Donnell. Frank Donnell's putting in a few good bursts there, and very experienced player. He'll be a great asset to the Bears this year.
The danger man, as far as the Bears are concerned, is Tony Morwood. Now, he's kicked 2 goals in that second quarter, and he's looked very good. Merv Nagel seems to be getting on top of Jeff Rains. As I mentioned, at a quarter time, these players do tend to play wide of each other, but Nagel with the goal starting to assert some sort of influence on the game.
Yes, Nagel and Morwood, either of those two players, along with many others in the Swans camp, you let them run loose, but those two in particular, you let them run loose, they'll cut aside the ribbons very, very quickly.
Warwick Capper at full forward has been the focal point again. 2 goals in the first quarter, 1 in that third quarter, so he's got 3 goals to his credit at this stage. The statistics are most interesting, that we see virtually the Swans leading in every aspect bar 1. 66 kicks as opposed to 55. You look at the marks, 25–15, so they're out-marking the Bears. The free kicks marginally in favour of the Swans. Handballs is the one area where the Bears are winning and doing it quite comfortably. 44 handballs as opposed to 29. So it shows they do have good use of the ball, but they're just not doing it enough with it once they get it.
Yeah, I think it's not the number of handballs, Grant, it's how effective they are.
Hit-outs, the Swans are obviously controlling the ruck with 17 hit-outs to 11, and shots at goal, 14 to the Swans and 11 shots to the Brisbane Bears. So checking the half-time score once again, 9-5-59. Swans lead by 39 points. Bears 2-8-20. Third quarter action after this.
6. So we start the second half. Bounced down in the centre. Micken and Ironmonger, as they've done all night. Won by Micken. That's been a great duel. Taken by Carroll. Carroll from half-back towards half-forward. It's a high kick coming across the face of the ground. A strong mark is taken by Morwood. Then he slipped over. Support from Potter. He is tackled. Dragged to the ground by Norman. Free kick to Norman. Norman with the ball at left half-back. Looking downfield. Kicking towards centre half-forward. Shocking kick. It goes directly to Holden, who takes the mark on his chest. Support. The run coming across the ground from Roberts. He chips it out wide looking for Bolton. Coming to meet the ball, though. The mark is taken by Walsh for the Bears. He's away. Got a good shepherd, too, from Mackay, but the kick goes down towards half-forward. Carroll. Carroll's in the road for the Swans. He's surrounded. Ball spills across towards Holden. Gathered by Roberts. He boots it back towards centre wing. It's fisted away from Bays by Campbell. Close to the boundary line. It spills out of bounds. Paul Hawke couldn't control it, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Looking at some of the skill of the Brisbane Bears, I think the skills coach is going to be quite busy.
Well, that kick by Philip Walsh was an absolute shocker when he wasn't under any pressure. The player with the ball now is Matthew Campbell from centre wing. That's a nice looking kick up towards Buckley from behind. Couldn't take the mark. You've got to be in front up on that forward line, because 9 times out of 10 you'll be outpointed if you get caught behind.
It could have been good play by Roberts on that occasion, because Buckley took a couple of courageous marks early, and there's no reason why he wouldn't be in front.
Ironmonger down to the ground. Ian Roberts comes away with the football and brings it towards centre wing. In fact, that was Bernard Toohey who kicked that to centre wing. Philip Walsh under pressure on that occasion. Cops one across the ear from Bolton as he brings it up further afield towards the half-forward line, where the throw-in will take place.
There's no in doubting the endeavour of the Bears, but once they get the ball, their use of it leaves a lot to be desired.
And I think they'd be trying so hard tonight to impress, and they've only been together a short time and all come from different clubs, and well, I think that was out of bounds. And Toohey made sure it was anyway, just casually strolled across the line. Bernard Toohey. It's on the half-forward line for the Bears at the 50-metre line, as you can see. Ironmonger against Garton. Ironmonger takes it beautifully out of the ruck, gives it to Paul Hawke, who's had a very, very good night. Here's the big flyer. Nice mark too is taken for the Bears by Steve Reddleson. who's played a fair game at centre-half back tonight on Glenn Coleman. He comes away with the ball and brings it towards half-forward. The pack flies. There's Ironmonger with his big mitt going up, and he got it too. Potter gives it across to the centre of the ground, and that is Murphy. A long kick. Kappa sets himself. Almost took the mark. It comes over the back to Morwood. He suffers it off the ground, and it dribbles through. Another goal to Morwood, and that's his third.
Yes, an excellent piece of play there by Tony Morwood as he finished that one off. And that's exactly what Peter Knights did not want. As on replay now, Roberts does well to punch the ball away on that occasion. Tony Morwood, too quick. Once again, showing them a clean pair of heels. And both he and Mitchell allowing it to roll through. And an easy goal. Goal number 3 to Tony Morwood.
10-6 to 2-8. Play restarts. We've played 3.5 minutes of this third term. Still more woes for the Bears. Ironmonger and Micken. Well, they fought a draw that time in most unorthodox fashion. This is Dixon kicking it down towards the half-forward line for the Bears. Coming up is Tui. Got an awkward bounce. Housley's got it now on the 50-metre line. Feeds it out to Buckley. Buckley a standing start almost. He kicks a shocking one towards goal. Puts it out of bounds on the full in the right full-forward pocket.
Yes, it was a little bit off balance. A natural left footer, and couldn't quite get balanced. And, well, most left footers do hook a bit anyway.
Here's Carter to put it back into play. In fact, that was a behind. It just snuck through. So Carter kicking in, going straight down the middle, as you'd expect with the game in its current situation. Picked up by Dixon, who swings it back towards half forward. Pitches on the half volley towards Donnell coming out. He couldn't control the ball. He chases back with Tui. Tui's got it. Hand passes towards the boundary. Puts it out of bounds as we go down to Barry Breen.
The Brisbane rooms at half-time were very quiet. We weren't allowed in to hear what Peter Knight said, but I spoke to Ken Murphy, and he was very disappointed with his side's performance in the first half. Very disappointed with some of these more experienced players. Conversely, the Swans were a lot happier. Tommy Hafey just mentioned that they wanted to keep running and make sure that they kept their skill level at that very high standard in the first half.
Well, that kick from Chris Stacey came right up to the goal square, and big John Ironmonger fisted it through for a behind, as we see Rocket Carter about to gravity wants to play on, but the scoreboard shows the Swans still well in command. 10-6 leading the Bears 2-10 as the ball comes out to the half back line. Now here's a chance for Mark Williams on the left foot. He centers the ball. Well done. Beautiful football by Mark Williams as he finds young Chris Stacey directly in front, 30 metres out.
On replay we see Stacey, and Stacey has shown a lot of courage tonight. Has stood his ground well, and a goal would be a just reward for the way that Chris Stacey has played. Formerly of Fitzroy, he put in one game at Fitzroy, and still only 21 years of age. His endeavour tonight, is it worthwhile? One goal it is, and a badly needed goal to the Bears.
That's their third. They trail though 3-10 to 10-5, and we've played 5.5 minutes of the term.
Well, it made a big difference, Bobby, that time. Instead of just blazing away, a beautifully directed kick.
The replay once again, and Stacey moving down to the half-forward line in this half. They've made a number of moves. Gartner's come out to centre half-forward, and Buckley back to full forward.
Ironmonger and Micken go to it. One down by the former. Dixon's been a lively customer around the pack. Kicks towards half-forward. It's dropped by Tui. Has ample time to redeem the situation. Gets it out wide. Away they come through Quirk, who drives down towards the half-forward line. Bay is edged under the ball by Campbell. Off hands. It's taken by Wright. Brilliantly done. Ferrets out the hand pass. Now a chance for Neagle. Neagle on the line at the square. Goes long towards full forward. One out contest. Capper and Roberts is fisted away by the defender. Morwood goes to ground under a tackle. A lot of desperation being shown down there. It's picked up and snapped towards goal. Brilliant snap there by Mitchell. Mitchell puts it through for the 11th goal for Sydney. They lead it 11-5 to 3-10.
Barry Mitchell, an excellent goal. We watch the replay as he swoops on the ball. A great snap by the little rover, and well, plenty of desperation by the Bears, but a great lack of application at this stage.
Well, back to the centre as we see the ruck duels again. Micken against Ironmonger. Micken won that one. He went in after it but couldn't grab it. He's still in there battling, but oh gee, here comes Murphy out of the centre. They do it well. Out wide, a chance there for Capper. Out he comes in front of Roberts. Cops one across the ear at the same time, and now it'll be on, I would think, for sure, because a couple of players getting very frustrated, but Capper looks good when he leads out for the ball instead of waiting for the big mark.
Well, Mark Roberts has certainly made him earn every kick, though, and that's the job. That's his, well, a former teammate. He'd know a lot about what Warwick Kappa can do.
You love to see full forwards getting waxed behind the ears, don't you, Bob?
Spoken like a true full forward.
But might test him the distance. It's about 40 metres. Kappa, it's a floater. Or, as I said, he battles, Bob. When he gets 40 metres out, he really does find it hard to make the distance. So he probably can't afford to lead too far out. And I've just said it's a good move. There he is. You can see the white line's a fair distance away. That point, nevertheless, the Swans made them 11-6 to 3-10 the Bears. Dixon, a hurry kick to centre wing. Ian Roberts showing a ton of pace, but he's dispossessed of the football. Here's the dash of Bolton. Goes to ground, and the umpire said that he was tripped. It'll be a free kick to David Bolton on centre wing.
Bolton right centre wing then to send the Swans back into attack yet again. It's becoming something of a rattle. 11-6 to 3-10. He plays on, drives a left foot kick down towards half forward through the hands of a defender down there in Norman. Waiting behind, it's Morwood, his opposite number. He snaps towards full forward and puts it through for his 4th goal.
Listen, once again, as I said earlier, I really couldn't understand the move with Tony Morwood. He was just doing as he liked and still maintaining exactly that piece of play. Morwood running absolute riot.
So the fingertips of Norman, as you saw. He's got his problems out there at the moment. 2 goals already in this term for Tony Morwood. Play about to restart at the 9-minute mark of the term.
How long could he leave him there, Bob?
Well, he's got Stephen Williams down picking up Potter, and I don't think there's a great deal he can do.
Rains towards full forward. Offhands a chance for Holden down there. He's claimed by Donnell. And the Bears tie it up. There'll be a bounce about 15 metres out from their attacking goal. So the
I think you'll find that Norman will be shifted.
Interchange players are warming up down there for the Bears en masse. That's the bounce. The attacking end of the ground for the Bears. McIver with a chance. Can't handle the ball. Goes to ground on top of it. And more of the same. So approaching 10 minutes then in this 3rd term. The 3rd and 4th quarters, of course. 20 minutes plus time on. And Sydney have kicked 3 goals so far in this quarter. Buckley getting very high, slaps it wide of the pack. Carroll goes looking for Hawke, who's got the ball. He feeds Tui. A wave of players coming down the ground. The hand pass comes across to Bays now, and Bays drives it after the Quirk hand pass towards half forward. Trying to knock it on down there was Coleman. Missing it was Potter. It comes to Donnell. He's at left half back, Donnell. On for the short pass is Norman. He kicks for distance high. In front is Garden. As he pushed in the back, he'll get the free kick. Adam Garden's been pretty disappointing by the same token tonight.
And Donnell at half back because he has come down because he's been shifted onto Morwood, and Norman will probably go to the forward line.
Mark Housley, it was on screen. Bring it right up to full forward off. Fisted away down there and through for a point by Ian Roberts. But you saw Mark Buckley there. That was a perfect opportunity to duck back and take that mark. But he just didn't have the pace. There's the Bears interchange bench. They're starting to warm up. Peter Smith is the blonde player on screen, who started off on fullback and was moved off Kappa. Dennis Carroll has taken this mark in the back pocket. He brings it to centre wing. Coleman and Reynolson. Reynolson has been trying to spoil Coleman all night. On that occasion, he was outpointed. A beautiful hand pass to Bays, who's on the right foot. He brings it to half forward. The players set themselves. Oh, well roved. Stephen Wright, the base of the pack. He's always collared, though, by 2 Bears players. There's Mitchell coming in to lead the hand. He's caught holding the ball. That was great tackling by the Bears, and a shot of Peter Knights. He was quite happy with that. As we are now on half back with Philip Walsh, he brings it to the wing. Fisted away there by Dennis Carroll. Players going in hard after the ball. There's Neagle. Oh, well tackled again as it's grabbed by Dixon for the Bears. A floater over the back was Mark Buckley. Oh, beautiful use of the body. Oh, lovely hand pass to a chance now for a goal to the Bears. Coming in the open goal is Banfield. Oh, boy. Now, the goal umpire coming to consult the field umpire. And what's he going to say? Not going to say anything. Now let's watch this in replay. He's saying that Carter was held.
No.
But actually, did that hit the post?
No, it went on the left-hand side of the post. It went straight through for a point,
no,
I
he's
think.
paying the point now, yes. And Carter comes off with the ball from full back, plays on. He loves to go for that little run. There's Coleman flying from behind, actually fisted away to his teammate Neagle. Neagle tons of time. Beautiful hand pass to Stephen Wright. Away he goes. Oh, little kick towards the wing, and it's taken by Bays. Beautiful backing up to Bolton, and the racehorse charges in towards goal. He's running pretty quickly. He stabs it, and what a goal that was, and what great teamwork by the Swans.
Yes, well, poor defence on that occasion by the Bears. The minute that Bolton had taken that hand pass, it's no good at all staying with your man. We see Williams trying to chase Bolton, but Bolton far too much pace, and the only way you could possibly stop Bolton from kicking this goal is he runs down the ground. Nobody at all running near him. Now he's able to just steady and put the ball forward, and if Waterson had left his man and come up, sure, it probably would have still been a goal, but maybe he might have touched it.
The Swans lead by 54 points. Micken goes up. He's outrucked this time by Ironmonger. The ball spills out towards half forward for the Swans. Leading in the race out there is Stacey. Gets a hand pass to Waterson on the burst up from the back pocket. He goes out wide looking for Banfield, who takes the mark at right half forward. Inside is Housley. Awkward hand pass. He goes again, gets it across to Mark Williams. 50 metres out, Mark Williams wobbles one down towards full forward, and Buckley takes the mark 15 metres out on a 45-degree angle. It's Craig Davis having a word to Tom Hafey. And I suppose from Hafey's point of view, Bob, it's important now the Swans continue to do the discipline things that are going to benefit them as the season rolls around. They've got this side on their knees, the Bears, but they've got to go on with it.
Yes, they certainly cannot allow the Bears to get any lift in confidence whatsoever. The Bears players who are down would have to be kept down, as Tom Hafey has a word.
This is his second goal coming up. It should be to Mark Buckley, and it is. And the Bears have moved on to 4 goals, 12, total of 36 to Sydney, 13-6-84. So they have a long way. Let's hope that that can lift the Bears, because they certainly need something. There's Micken doing the ruck, and Jeff Rains. They need a lot more from Rains. Bobby out of that centre, as we see, grabbing at Peter Banfield on the right foot. He hooks it towards the pocket. There he is in front again. Buckley couldn't take the mark. Oh, great pace and anticipation shown by Murphy. He's looking for his teammate Ian Roberts, but well done, Mark Housley. This young player there on screen was, well, Richmond were very interested in him ages ago, a few years ago, I think it was, Bob.
Yes, about the same time that Gary Shaw, as John Evans prepares to come back onto the ground.
Centre wing, there's Rains, Stephen Wright. Oh, well done by Waterson, the ex-bomber, looking for his ex-teammate there in Banfield too. Neagle always seems to have a ton of time. Merv Neagle on the left foot, beautifully directed kick towards Bays, but it just dropped in front of him and beat him over the line. Young John Evans, number 43, about to come on, and a good time for a young player to come on the ground, Bob. When your team's winning like that, you couldn't help but get a kick.
Yes, anyone coming on for the Bears at the moment wouldn't be chock full of confidence, as Mark Williams forces the ball forward. Over the line it goes, and right throughout the night, the disposal of the Bears, well, it just hasn't been up to scratch.
16 minutes gone then. Rather pensive. Maybe a Bears supporter. Micken flicks it backward of the pack. It's taken by Rains, who's been outpointed in the middle by Neagle. He breaks away this time and drives towards half forward, going back with the flight of the ball and showing a lot of courage down there was McIver, but the strong mark was taken by the man coming up the ground. That was Toohey for the Swans. Both players showing a lot of endeavour that time. The short one comes to Carroll, but it must come back. Bernard Toohey has the ball midway between centre half back and right half back. Look at the men free on the outer side of the ground. Any one of 3 could have taken that. Eventually it's Coleman who feeds the ball wide. This is Holden on the burst. He runs to centre wing, chips it in short, looking for Morwood. He's kicked 2 goals already in this term. This time it's broken up by Waterson, who boots it back towards the outer side. Coleman gathers the bouncing ball. Well, triangular practice work done out there as he gets it across to Holden, back into the forward line. The leaper from behind, Reynoldsson, tackled high. He was going, certainly, and that's the decision from the umpire.
And the umpire had called play on, and it was only the tackle was too high. Reynoldsson now playing on immediately, and there's the tackle too high.
Good stuff all around as Ironmonger comes off the ground for the Swans. Kick around the outer side from Reynoldsson, almost the big mark taken by Norman. Couldn't hang on. He's over the ball. Battling in there hard is Quirk. There's John Ironmonger getting the cobwebs out. He's had a very interesting duel, as we've said several times, with Micken tonight. Micken has done pretty well.
He has. He's tried very hard, young Micken in the ruck, and full marks to him because he's a big bloke, Ironmonger.
Stacey goes over the top. Dixon's got it. Goes out wide. This is Housley inside 50 metres. Can he get the running goal? It's going down towards full forward, and the mark is taken down there by Banfield. Banfield only about 5 metres out. And given his attempt last time, he was a lot closer.
He can come around a lot further than he is at the moment. On replay, the mark taken, and Banfield put himself around. The umpire now directing Banfield to where he can, and he should have no trouble, even though he missed a very easy one before. Banfield should put this through for his first.
Well, there's the kick. He would have been shot if he had missed that one. Straight through the centre it goes. And a handy goal to the Bears, and they certainly need plenty of them, as might give him a bit of confidence, Peter Banfield.
This won't. He's already got the message to come off.
Oh, after kicking a goal.
On replay now, Banfield covering the territory well, looking back over the shoulder, but no problems to take the mark. And now off he comes on the interchange to be replaced by Craig Evans.
Well, 13-6 plays 5-12, so a long way to go for the Bears. As Peter Knight, Jane O'Sullivan, Mark McClure on the right of screen, not looking too happy. There's Micken was watching his opponent Coleman then. Oh, Mark Williams crashing his way through the packets, grabbed by Bolton, looking for Mitchell. Oh, and he goes after it. The packet players, a lot of desperation being shown there in the centre of the ground. And eventually, as Jeff Rains picked it up, there's Mike McCarthy at the back there too, the ex-Hawthorn man whose clearance didn't come through, Bob.
No, I understand they might take that one to appeal. Time will tell.
Kicked off the ground by Mitchell. Right out wide it goes. Bolton now. Can he get there before it goes over the line? No, he overruns the ball. Back it comes to Bolton. Off he goes. He loves this. A hand pass further afield. Finds Bays. Tries to look for the kick. Trying to find a teammate. There is Kappa. Oh, he throws the ball away. And the umpire's going to pay a push on the back. Very lucky to get that free kick, I think, Bob.
Mark Roberts is having a few words and letting the umpire know. And he did throw the ball away, and Mark Roberts is entitled to be a little bit upset there, as he realises it'll probably be a goal. As on replay now, we see Kappa with the ball, throws it away, and, well, and for mine, still in possession.
Yes.
Terrible decision, wasn't it, as Kappa comes in. And what's he done? He slid it through. Not much margin for error there, but Kappa gets yet another goal. That's his fourth, the first of this term.
As Warwick Kappa comes back, whether Mark Roberts likes it or not, that's 4 goals to Warwick Kappa. And a little bit fortunate, nonetheless, it's 90-42. And the Bears really needing a little bit of confidence.
Mark Day in the crowd. Back in the centre.
It was a great camera shot a moment ago, Dennis, too, wasn't it, of Mark Roberts? I don't think he was too impressed with that umpire's decision.
No, he was a bear with a sore head. Back in the middle. Chance now for Murphy. Hand pass over the top to no one in particular. Scrambled forward out there by number 29. It was Williams. Over the ball is Roberts, and I think we'll have a bounce. Now, in fact, it's going to be a free kick to Roberts. He was taken high in that tackle. So once more they mounted around the outer side, a succession of hand passes, finishing up with Quirk, who hooks it around the corner, and Hawke drifting back takes a courageous mark. He's too far out to score. He would be about 55 metres out from goal.
Well, Hawke was an excellent player in the first half with 8 kicks. You see the short pass here to the pocket to Tony Maud, who's been an outstanding player, and he wants to centre it, as you can see. They're always on the lookout for a player in a better position. In fact, I still think still wants to give the short pass. He's kicked 4 goals already. 8 kicks in the first half, Paul Hawke, and he's had a couple in this quarter and has been an excellent player. Now, Morwood is a dangerous player. 4 goals already. Normally a very accurate kick. And there it is, goal number 5 to Tony Morwood, and the Swans are doing it on the bit at the moment, Bob.
Yes, they certainly are, Pete, and with excellent play, a good lead, and Morwood covers a lot of territory. He's an excellent foil for Warwick Kappa. Frank Dunnell, who played most of the game so far on the forward line. On replay, the ball coming from Hawke, and there's no way known that a fullback can stop shots like that. From behind the goals, Tony Morwood lines it up and puts it through for goal number 5. An excellent half forward.
3 in this term from Morwood, back in the centre, won by Micken yet again. He's battled manfully in there, trying to crash his way through his Dixon. Was he pushed in the back? Yes, he was. He'll take the kick on the pitch area. And that'll be 15 metres as cruising past Bay has simply knocked the ball away as it was directed back to Mitchell. 15-6 to 5-12. The Bears in a lot of trouble. Dixon unloads with a long one down towards full forward. It's all the Swans at the back of the pack, knocking the ball across the boundary line and then following it across with Roberts. And now it's on. He was sent flying by Williams, and Tui wants a piece of him. Roberts seems to be okay. They're coming from everywhere down there. So suddenly a bit of spirit in this game. It's generally been a lacklustre performance by the Bears, but Williams getting into Roberts' back and sending him crashing into the fence. We saw Donnell slip and go into that fence area down there earlier. At that time, it wasn't
Roberts
a slip.
is okay.
Yeah.
On replay now, we see Mark Williams come across, and that hip and shoulder really putting Roberts right into the fence, but at that stage it didn't look good at all, but I can assure you that Mark Roberts is quite okay.
I think the problem, Bob, at the SCG, of course, is that line is so close to the fence, isn't it?
It's very close, isn't it?
Nothing like Waverley in the Waverley ground in Melbourne.
Boundary throw in then. No free kick went the Swans' way. The crowd didn't like that. Burrowing in after that ball is Walsh. Can't do much with it. Emerging with the ball is Neagle. Long hand pass out to no one in particular. Coming to meet it is Williams. Went without the ball. Crashing his way through down there was Hawke. Has the ball blanketed off the boot. It spills back towards Mitchell. Mitchell breaks away from half back and sends it out to open space. It's going to be a relayed free kick down the ground as Mitchell was dealt with after he kicked the ball.
Centre wing. Now that's Quirk, you see, running past, but I think Murphy is the recipient of the free kick. Beautiful looking kick. Kappa flies from behind, almost fell into his hands. It's on half back. It's taken away for the Brisbane Bears by Matthew Campbell on the left foot. Now here's David Bolton. Oh, beautifully done, Bolton. Tucks it under the arm in rugby fashion. On the left foot, back towards Waterson, who took his eye off it. Oh, there's Micken getting a hurried kick in. Back it comes towards Matthew Campbell. A hand pass further afield towards Philip Walsh. Walsh on the left foot towards the half-forward line, punched away by Mark Williams. He butters up again. He bounces off his opponent. Gives it further afield towards Ross McIver, the brother, of course, of McIver, who plays for Fitzroy.
Yes, Scott McIver.
Scott McIver, of course, and what a great year he had last year for Fitzroy.
Yes, represented the state.
Half-forward flank, very close to the 50-metre line. Fisted away by Craig Evans, right up towards the forward pocket, but out comes Carter, showing a ton of dash to Potter. Bernard Toohey was diving after it. He gets the free kick. Well, there's Peter Smith warming up, about to come on the ground, and he's been off for a while, and which is a bit disappointing. He had a nightmare start on Kappa. Centre wing is Stevie Wright. Kicks it off the ground to very close to the boundary line. Brilliantly kept in play to Paul Hawke. He tries to be a bit too fancy then, though, and he was collared. Good play by Reynoldsson. Went straight for the hips on that occasion and put him over the boundary line.
Reynoldson's done a pretty good job down there at centre half back as Peter Smith awaits to come on. And Jeff Rains coming off, is it? No, it's not Rains, it's McIver.
Well, the umpire bringing it back towards Paul Hawke. Now he's looking for Kappa. Kappa's caught behind on that occasion. There's Reynoldsson. Oh, well done to Mark Roberts. Beautiful football. Further afield to Norman. And they're under pressure all the time. And it's a free kick, though, on this occasion, up the field. But every time a Bears player goes in after it, there's 2 or 3 Swans. That was young Ross McIver on screen there having a drink on the bench. The left foot kick comes up towards half forward. Fisted away, back towards Bolton. And they're scouting the packs beautifully. And off he goes. A bounce. Oh, almost a good tackle. In fact, it was, because a top tackle that was by young Evans, because it took Bolton over the line and out of bounds.
Yes. Didn't quite tackle him, but took him far enough to put over the line.
26.5 minutes gone. Roberts in all sorts of trouble. Seems to be okay after that clash with the fence. He's got a free kick. That will help his spirits even more. He gets the ball out wide. Away goes Toohey. Treading the light fantastic around the boundary. Kicking it towards half forward. And the mark is taken in front down there by Mitchell. Mitchell has kicked 1 goal in this quarter. His only goal for the game. About 40 metres out now. What will he do? Will go for distance. Right down towards full forward. Kappa kept out of it well by Roberts. Roberts almost finished up taking the mark, but wouldn't you know, Kappa finishes up with the ball. Well, almost. He's bundled out of it too. Eventually it's picked up by the big fellow Roberts. Hooks it towards the outer side. Neagle and Rains, the 2 number 4s. Rains leads in the race. It's out of bounds, and we'll have a throw-in out there in front of the Doug Walters stand here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Actually, young Roberts hasn't done a bad job against Kappa since he was shifted there.
He's done well. He's ferocious, and he's concentrating very, very hard. And he obviously doesn't want to lower his colours. As soon as he went onto him, He put him under a lot of pressure. There's Reynoldsson receiving. On the left foot, he brings it up towards half forward. Mark Williams caught in front of the pack and went underneath the ball. Coleman was there. Now it's Craig Holden coming out with it off the side of the boot. Back towards Rains, who kept his eye on the ball and copped it high. And Jeffrey Rains, and Neagle gives him one to go on with.
Yes, on replay.
Right.
Oh, no, it's a Potter, in fact. But there's Rains, normally a great kick of a football, and that is no exception. Or a little shove out there was by Carter, and Coleman came in to lend a hand, and of course Carter ducked back to take the mark. A little kick across towards half-back. There's Merv. Casual as ever, but a great player to Potter. Wide to Stevie Wright. He dodges around. Gee, their disposal is beautiful, the Swans. A long kick looking for Kappa, who flies. It's grabbed by Mitchell at the base of the pack. He ducks around on the right foot. He hooks it back at the goals. It's a floater. Morwood waits for it, keeps his eye on the ball, but can't quite keep it in play as Kappa boots the ball into the fence. But their disposal of the ball round the ground is beautiful. The Swans, they're backing up and their teamwork, and they're a very, very quick side.
Boundary throw in beside the behind post down there at that southern end. It's one forward by Micken. Coming away with the ball is Housley, going towards the outer side. In front, Murphy takes the mark though for the Swans.
It's a perfect example of the disposal that is not there for the Brisbane Bears.
Yes. And Murphy reading it pretty well too, coming up the ground. There's the siren for three-quarter time. Peter Knights without much joy as Murphy fires on goal from 45 metres out and adds to the coach of the Bears' woes as he puts it through for yet another one. So Sydney's storming away with this game. They lead 16-6 to 5-12. So
the national Panasonic game, and the Sydney Swans have increased their lead to 60 points at lemon time, 16-6 102 to 5-12 42. Seemingly, Nats, the Bears getting further and further behind.
Yeah, the interesting point there was, even though they're getting further and further behind, they're still only outscoring them. Swans only outscoring them by 8 scoring shots to 7 there, but the difference was stretched a fair way. What are they now? 102 to 42. It's going to make their job tonight a little bit harder, Grant.
Yeah, we saw Banfield kick a goal in that third quarter, and he was immediately taken off. I wonder what flicked through his mind.
Oh, I think we've got to agree that Peter Knights is using the game as an experimental thing. He's still defined players in positions. You don't know whether it was a disciplinary measure or not. But you know, he's got to move players around. I think the decision was probably made before Banfield kicked that goal, and he decided to stick with that decision.
I think the thing that most people have forgotten is the fact that the Bears have only been together twice, 2 practice matches, and this Sydney Swans side has played together many, many times, and this is where the experience is beginning to tell. We saw a bit of spite creep into the game. Mark Williams threw Roberts into the fence, perhaps a bit of an evener up as far as Philip Walsh was concerned in the first quarter, but the good thing about the Bears is the fact that they haven't thrown in the towel. They're still in their trying, Nat. Yeah,
I agree. The scuffle was, I think, preempted by that incident in the first quarter. Interesting to note that some of the Swans players are going to Johnny Lewis's gym, Jeff Fennick's trainer. Tommy Hafey's got him going over there once or twice a week, and one of those fellas is Warwick Kappa. So Warwick probably needs a little bit of sharpening up in that department, that's for sure. But he's a lot stronger this year, which is evidenced by his performance so far.
I thought better players for the Bears in that third quarter were Campbell. Philip Walsh again playing well. He's played 3 fairly good quarters. Mark Williams, again, the typical captain's game. The Terrier never, ever knows how to give up, Williams. Reynoldson has played well. And also Roberts, who came on, and I thought curbed Kappa.
Yeah, I think Reynoldson's done a good job for 3 quarters all day. Rick Norman's done a fairly good job too. He's been in just about everything. He was criticised a little earlier, but I think unjustly, really. Everyone's entitled to one mistake, Grant. Best players as well for mine were Frank Donnell's been trying his heart out all night. Good experienced footballer. It's starting to show. Waterson, great determination, but unfortunately still just a little bit loose, but he'll learn. Williams for the Bears, a good captain's game. For the Swans, Bolton, plenty of pace. Tony Morwood got loose, doing it well. Mitchell, 4 goals so far. They'd be my best 3, I think. Rick Norman would probably be the most consistent of the Bears players all night so far, Grant. Bolton
has played well. As you mentioned, they've shown plenty of pace, and their disposal has been excellent, the Swans. When you look at the scores, quarter by quarter, 4-2 as opposed to 1-6 at quarter time. 9-5 at half-time to 2 goals, 8. Plenty of shots at goals at the Bears, but unable to capitalise on their shots at goal. And a 7-goal third quarter, 16-6 to 5-12. The story is all in the shots at goal and the scorers on the board.
Yeah. I think you'd have to be the supreme optimist, Grant, to think that they can come back from there, the way the Swans are playing. But it'd be nice to see them put in an improved performance in this last quarter, because there'll be a lot of people in Brisbane especially looking to see what they've got to look forward to this year. But don't worry, there'll be plenty of improvement on this performance tonight.
Well, I doubt that Peter Knights would let the side go on and not give their a full 100% effort for the final quarter. Incidentally, we must mention too, Friday the 27th of March, the Brisbane Bears' first VFL game for premiership points under lights at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, live and exclusive on TVO. So at three-quarter time, the Bears seemingly have the job ahead of them. 16-6-102, the Swans to 5-12-42. Back with the last quarter after this break.
Climb from the cellar in this competition in their first year. There's the bounce. It's won out by Ironmonger. It's taken by Rains. The high kick down towards half forward. Housley simply not tall enough, and the mark is taken in front down there by Evans for the Swans. This is Tui, who's been a grand player tonight. He feeds the ball across to Roberts. Out of the back pocket he comes. High kick along the Wollongong side of the ground, and up goes Bayes to take the mark. Bayes lays the ball off. It's taken by Murphy. Shrugs a tackle as Murphy from half back and kicks towards half forward. In front, the mark almost taken by Donnell, who's been given the task, or was given the task, midway through that last term of marking Norwood. Away comes Rains, kicking towards half forward. Getting a hand on the ball was Norman. This is Buckley over it now, surrounded by Swans, and he's rather fortunate. It was there, but he was lacking in support.
Yeah, he certainly played for that mark, Buckley. As I said earlier, he lacks a little bit of pace, and he has to do that sort of thing, get in front and fight for the ball, because he hasn't got that speed to get away from his opponent. He's having this kick. Well, he'll actually kick it from about 55 metres, so it'll really test him out.
He's kicked 2 goals tonight, 1 in each half. It'll fall well short. Pack into the air down there. Fisted away by the Swans. It's taken by Roberts, who lays the ball off into the path of Holden. Holden goes towards the outer side wing. In front out there, and taking a good mark too was Potter. So Potter has the ball on the outer side, wants to play on. They're told to play on now. Holden over the ball, desperately trying to keep it in play. After it goes Potter. And I think they kept the ball in play around the outer side. Bayes finishes up with it. Well, that was inch perfect by the Swans around the outer side. Roberts fisting towards the boundary, and it goes out of bounds. And speaking of the boundary, Barry Breen is down there, having heard what Peter Knights had to say to the Bears at three-quarter time.
The Bears were very concerned, and Peter was, about their handling errors in that quarter. He just wants to treat this last quarter as a new game and make sure that they outscore the Swans. Tommy Hafey was concerned with the Swans giving the Bears too much ball, and he wanted them to run the quarter out, continue to go in hard for the ball.
Time Watterson put the ball forward, but the free kick goes away of Merv Neagle, and Neagle midway between the centre of the ground and centre wing, directs it towards half forward. Mitchell couldn't quite take the mark. He gets good support from Murphy from 50 metres out. It's a long floating kick right in towards the goal square, won't make the distance, and it goes off the hands of the pack and through for 1 point to take the Bears to they're staying, of course, on 5-12-42, with Sydney going to 16-7-103. Mark Roberts to bring the ball back into play, formerly of the Swans, and had a good duel since coming on and going against Warwick Kappa. Unsure which way to go. Comes to the members' side of the ground. Mark Williams, the only Bears player there, and he's given away the free kick. It comes out to David Murphy. Murphy with a hand pass. Players loose everywhere as Neagle puts the ball long towards the forward area. Roberts up, punches the ball away. Over the boundary line it goes, and a throw-in to take place about 5 metres around from the behind post in the forward pocket.
If I was Peter Knights, I would certainly keep Mark Roberts at full-back, and that is his best position. He's doing a fine job.
He has done a good job as Stevie Wright takes it. Gets a quick hand pass towards Mitchell. Mitchell, a beautiful-looking shot with the left foot. It came back and right through the centre. A lovely goal to take the Swans to 17-7, 109. The Brisbane Bears, 5-12-42.
Well, that was a touch of class. As you have a look at this in replay. Now, there's Stevie Wright going in after it. Now, he gives the hand pass back. Now, watch Mitchell. He'll grab this on the left foot, and I think he put a deliberate banana on that, Bobby. Don't grin like that. You'd think it was a fluke.
No fluke about that shot. It was a lovely goal.
It was a great kick by Barry Mitchell for his second.
So the Swans continue to roll. Micken and Ironmonger. They fight a draw there in the centre. Mark Williams scrambles a kick out of the congestion. It comes wide towards the centre wing. Over the ball, a chance now for Smith. Comes back onto his left foot and hooks it down towards half forward. Carroll goes back with a lot of courage, and that was an outstanding mark.
That was a lot of courage. He could have really been put out of business then.
Carroll plays on, telling kick deep into attack from behind. The leap down there from, I think it was Morwood it was, who got hands to it, couldn't hang on. Away comes Waterson, boots it back towards centre field and Rains. And Rains takes the mark.
This is
midway
the sort
between.
of form that Rains has to show for the Bears, as he's done in his term.
Cross it comes to Waterson. Waterson driving down towards half forward. Buckley out there. Ball eludes he and Carter, waiting behind a chance for Carroll. The numbers again will tell for the Swans. This is Roberts, close to the boundary line, goes over the top to Carter. Away he comes from right half back. He goes towards centre wing. Getting a fist in there was Stephen Williams. He played it well, close to the boundary line, picked up by brother Mark. He feeds the hand pass inside, taken by Big Micken. Micken gets it across to support Housley. Housley goes down towards the pocket. In fact, bless my soul, he's quick. He turns up again to Housley. Housley gives it back to support. This is Stacey, the man who kicked it to Housley. Housley again with a chance inside 50 metres. High kick towards the kick-off line. A lot of jostling down there. Toohey and Smith. Belated attempt to spoil by Toohey as it bounces through for a behind.
Well, they're having a lot of problems down there in the forward line because that back line has been together for a long time. Carter and Carroll and Toohey and Roberts, they're a great combination, and look at the way they bring it away from defence.
Quirk gets it across now, and Carroll taking the hand pass, drives it long. A lovely mark to Tony Morwood. A superb game. 5 goals so far. His hand pass accepted by Wright. Back to Morwood again from 50 metres out. He looks for Kappa. The ball drops short, and a good mark taken down there by Micken, who certainly has done his share of hard work for the Bears tonight. Micken puts the ball wide, looking for Norman. Norman, a nice mark. So Rick Norman had the unenviable task of picking up Tony Morwood, and since shifted, it certainly hasn't dropped the bundle.
Ross McIver warming up, Bobby.
Norman, a hand pass to Mark Roberts. Roberts puts the ball wide and finds a teammate out there in Campbell, who plays on immediately. The long left foot kick up towards the wing. Dixon well beaten on that occasion by Quirk. And Quirk's been a good, solid defender tonight.
He certainly has. We look at this in replay, just too strong and too tall for Dale Dixon, and he gave a 15-metre penalty away at the same time.
Almost another good mark to Norman as Kappa gets the short kick forward. And Tony Morwood with the chance of making it goal number 6 and number 18 for the Swans. What a great game Tony Morwood has played up forward.
Well, Tony Morwood is one of the top half forwards in league football, and one thing about him, he normally finishes off his work. Tonight, of course, he's already kicked 5 goals, going for his 6th, and he doesn't normally miss from here. He stabs right through the ball. Oh, the goal umpire goes across, but it's a goal. 6 goals to Tony Morwood, a fine exhibition of forward work.
Frank Dunnell off the ground, so Tony Morwood possibly with opponent number 3.
Well, as we look at this in replay, you see the 2 Bears players spoiling each other. Kappa, very clever play by Kappa, a quick kick on the left foot. Mark Browning, the roars of the crowd were for Mark Browning as he strides onto the ground for the first time tonight. Number 11, there's Bernard Toohey. Well, they've just taken him off to give him a rest. He played that well.
Yes, he's played very well on the half-back flank. Mark Browning, of course, one of the favourite sons here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. One down by Ironmonger, knocked away though by Micken. Picking up the ball is Garton, back towards Micken. He's claimed by Ironmonger. Rain scrambles a kick towards half forward, and a good mark is taken by Mark Williams, showing a lot of desperation despite the scoreboard, throwing himself bodily at that ball and taking the mark on his chest. The ice goes on. So Bernard Toohey obviously got a kick, I'd suggest, on that calf. Doesn't seem too concerned. The state of the game certainly shouldn't cause him any concern. Mark Williams looking for goal number 6 for the Bears. Kicks and kicks truly. Brisbane 6-13 trails Sydney 18-7.
Well, Mark's battled away as usual tonight, getting at the base of the pack. He's always a goer, Mark. He probably hasn't got the pace he had a couple of years ago. He was never that quick a player, as we see on screen. Craig Davis talking to Tommy Hafey. There's Peter Knights and Shane O'Sullivan looking very pensive. They wouldn't be too impressed with the performance tonight, Bob.
No, they certainly would not. And a little bit more work to do yet from the bounce. Micken favoured by it. Gets a tap down. Tackle was too high that time, and so we'll find the kick put forward by Rick Norman. Norman from the centre of the ground. Hand passes. A long kick from McIver. Williams. Free kick has been found to Mark Williams.
Well, he's always burrowing in there, as I said before, at the base of the pack, and that's the secret to his game. He's got sheer endeavour, Mark Williams. Always has been a goer since he came across from Port Adelaide to Collingwood, and not a highly skilled player, but tremendous endeavour.
He's about 10 metres further out than when he kicked the last goal. Runs a little close to the man on the mark. Just can't quite make the distance. It's punched away by Ironmonger. Browning forces the ball forward. Over the line it goes. So Browning having his first touch. It's coming on and receiving a great cheer from the crowd. McMullen getting ready to come onto the ground. And back it comes with Carroll. Dennis Carroll, an excellent player from centre half back. Drives it along out towards the wing. Holden coming towards it for the Swans. Gets there first. Pushing them back from Campbell. It's called play on as Rhett Norman has time to steady. Swings it back towards centre half forward. But it's all Swans as David Bolton comes across to take a timely mark in defence. Bolton gives the hand pass wide towards Carroll. Will drop short of Carroll. Tackle too high though, and Dennis Carroll will take the free kick.
Very untidy tackle by Jeff Ryans. So Carroll from half-back kicking towards half-forward. Pack into the air out there. Coleman sandwiched between a couple of Bears. Still finishes up with the ball. Well, that's clever. A party trick by Coleman as he gets it out to Mitchell. Mitchell comes out wide at the fall of the ball to Swans. Couldn't take the mark. Waterson, it slipped through his fingers, but Roberts comes down the ground, gathers, fires it back towards the half-forward line. Ironmonger is up. Couldn't take the mark. Norman is playing. Hand pass is on. In fact, he threw it on. So the kick will be taken now by Evans. Walsh is off the ground. As the kick comes back towards the centre wing position for the Swans, just about 20 metres the attacking side of left centre wing. Waterson breaks up the attack, taking that mark. He's told to play on. He boots it back towards half forward. Ironmonger crashes his frame into that pack, comes forward. It's picked up by Dixon, hooks it around the corner. Chance for Stacey. He's confronted by Roberts, but still he goes. He needs a shepherd from Williams, and he gets it too. Well played. Now Stacey with a chance. It needed a goal to finish, and he misses.
Well, that was tremendous football by Mark Williams. If we happen to see that in replay, Stacey was made for him. That he unfortunately couldn't finish it off, but it was terrific team play by Williams as we see the pass coming out to Bolton from Carter.
Bolton plays on towards the wing, and Roberts it is who takes the mark. Very loose checking by the Bears. I think they're a little tired from chasing. And it's Mitchell steadies, goes short and wide. Neagle takes the easiest of mark. Hand passes over the top. Bayes has time to steady and drive the ball long up towards the square. Morwood can't quite take the mark. Over the top it comes and through for 1 point. Kick by Mark Bayes to take it through to 18-8, 116 with the Bears 6-14-50.
I think Barry Breen is standing by with an injury report. Bernard Toohey was the player who came off. Barry?
Bernard Toohey's gashed his shin, Dennis, and he's had it strapped and had ice put on it just as a precautionary measure.
Like a terrible doctor. There goes Bolton back towards full forward. Kappa in from the side spectacularly, trying to kick the ball out of midair was Mitchell. Goes back after it, picks it up and puts it through. That's his third, the 19th for Sydney. They lead it 19-8 to 6-14. It's a rout.
Well, good, very clever play by Mitchell there. As we see Bolton once again tuck it under the arm and full of determination. A high ball comes into towards the square. Now watch Mitchell. He tries to do the soccer trick. And look how quickly he picks it up. Look at that. That's a sign of class to have those reflexes. As we look again, there's Kappa flying for the mark. Now look at this. Misses it the first time. Picks it up brilliantly. Left foot snap. Goal to Barry Mitchell for his third.
Centre, Ironmonger, clean possession. Comes away with the left footer down towards half forward. The chance now for this attack to be repulsed. It's driven towards the grandstand side. In front, Housley was pushed in the back. He's going to take the free kick. Runners inside for Housley. He plays on to the man who gave him the ball. That's Stephen Williams, who brought it to the grandstand side. Back it comes to Williams from Dixon. In turn it comes to Micken. What can the big fellow do? He scrambles a kick down towards the pocket. This ball is surrounded by Swans. Roberts misses it and Eagle goes in. Thought he was pushed in the back, but we'll have a boundary throw in.
Move, hold that one on a little bit. Make sure it went over the boundary line. From the throw-in. Micken gets the front position, gets it down. Mark Williams trying to force his way through. Kicks the ball off the ground, taken by Neagle again, across to Evans. Evans breaks the tackle, was tackled then too high. The big fellow Ironmonger picks it up, across to Bolton, to Carroll. The Swans out of trouble as Carroll puts the ball wide. All Swans is the only man who knew it is Holden. Holden's kick again finds Tony Morwood. Morwood goes on to Mitchell. Doing as they like. Running loose. Mitchell steadies, goes towards goal and brings up goal number 4 personally. And the Swans go to 20 goals 8, 128 with Brisbane 6-14-50.
Well, the Brisbane Bears were powerless to stop that display of teamwork right from the back line with the long kick out wide to the loose man. Look at that. There's Craig Holden going wide. Finds Morwood, who was 20 metres in front of his opponent. A little chip shot across. Once again, the loose man. He had all the time in the world, Barry Mitchell, to just line it up and casually pop it through for his 4th goal, all since half-time.
Well, a good backhanded knock that time from Neagle. Finds Murphy. Murphy gets it on now to Coleman with the left footer. A well-placed kick by Coleman, but the forward's not in front, and Ross McIver coming across to take the mark in the last line of defence. McIver towards half-back. Micken up in front. Can't take it. Browning comes through. Could have possibly received the free kick. And we find coming away there for the Bears, Williams put the ball forward. Carroll tackled, lost possession, giving good support as Quirk. Quirk with a hand pass, intercepted by Reynoldson. Across to Dixon. Dixon gets the ball over the shoulder, down towards half forward. Norman couldn't take the mark. Garton's there, trying to lend support. Can't get the ball out. Did get a free kick, though. Pop one too high. And Adam Garton from 45 metres out, only about 10 metres in from the boundary line. Not an easy shot, Pete.
Well, a pretty vocal couple of supporters there, but it's not an easy shot. You can say that again. That's the 50-metre line, Adam Garton. He's right out towards the boundary. I doubt very much if he'd make the distance from there. He should be able to lob it up in the goal square, though, Bob, as we see the kick. It's a high one, and he'll do just that.
Lovely kick from Garton into the square. Thumped away. Quirk takes it. Gives the hand pass across to Mitchell. Playing well at both ends of the ground. Mitchell puts it wide, looking for Bays. It's Bays and Campbell racing after it. Kicked off the ground by Bays. Over the boundary line it goes. And Peter Knight's not looking the happiest man in the world.
Almost a look of despair on the face of Peter Knight's there. Perhaps mingled with a little anger. He's not happy with the side out there on the ground at the moment, the Brisbane Bears. He asked them to outscore Sydney in this term. Well, at the moment they've fallen well behind that task. Scrambled forward by the Bears towards centre wing. In the way is Evans, dragged off the ball. Reigns with a chance now to mount something for the Bears. Gets a hand pass across towards Garton. Garton gets around Mitchell, steadies. The kick is a shocker. It wobbles down towards full forward. The last man in the queue there, Quirk, not a good kick either. So a chance again for Garton. He picks it up 15 metres out. Nobody on the end of that for the Bears. And Browning takes the mark, sells a dummy, comes away, gets the hand pass across to support, and they'll run it up the ground. That's Mitchell. Mitchell draws a man, goes over the top, and now Carroll, open territory in front, strikes the tackler. That was Reigns. He goes down towards Kappa, in front Robertson. What a game he's played. Kappa had his tail up, and Roberts has come out and blunted him. Ball comes across now. This is Williams. He breaks away, kicks into Bolton. It ricochets back towards Morwood. He knocks it off the ground. Bolton gets his second chance, taken by Kappa. Kappa gets it to Holden. Holden 25 metres out, kicks the 21st for Sydney. They lead 21-8 to 6-14.
Well, it's purely a case there's just too many good players in the Swans team, too many good players who are getting around the ball. They back one another up. They're quick with the handball. You saw this. It's knocked on beautifully by Tony Morwood to Bolton. Now, Bolton to Kappa. Now, look how quickly Kappa sizes the situation up. A quick hand pass into Craig Holden, and he slams it through for a lovely goal. And that's been the story of the night, Bob.
It certainly has, Pete. 84 points the margin, 14 points at quarter time, 39 points at half time, 60 points at three-quarter time, and 84 now. Micken against Ironmonger. Micken gets a tap. He's battled hard right throughout the night, Mark Micken. And as Peter Smith was pushed through, Browning takes it, puts the ball up towards half forward. Stevie Wright leads in the race for the ball, gets a push in the back. No free kick forthcoming as Dixon gets the hand pass in. Bounced awkwardly for Browning, taken by Neagle. Neagle now almost threw the ball back. It comes through to Browning. Long hand pass, well taken by Potter. Another good hand pass by Potter across to Mitchell. Over to Wright, gets the favourable bounce, steadies. But a kick off line, but Kappa might be there to take it. Good defensive work by Roberts, though. Lending support Williams. Williams gets the short kick into Waterson. Waterson does likewise now and finds Dixon, who misses a sitter. Runs over the boundary line with it. Didn't keep the ball in play. Wasn't happy about it, but Dixon should have taken the mark in the first place. And that's the part of the play that he should have been unhappy about, as David Murphy sits on the boundary line for the Swans, having just come off the ground. Tommy Hafey moving his players around and giving them a rest and just giving some of his interchange players a run on the ball. Ironmonger and Micken contest for the knockout. Ironmonger gets a tap over the back. Norman leads in the race for the ball, gets it across to Reynoldsson. Reynoldsson now from half back puts it wide in towards the centre of the ground, taken by Smith. Peter Smith, formerly of North Melbourne, drives it long. Buckley helping Carter along, then almost lost possession, was held by Carter, and Mark Buckley will take the free kick 45 metres out from goal.
Well, he's battling hard up there, Mark Buckley. As I said, he lacks pace. He lacks a lot of pace, and against a player of the capabilities of Carter, that's a bad disadvantage. But he is trying hard and trying to get in front. He's a long way out. He's at the 50-metre mark as he takes this kick.
Buckley won't quite make the distance, and it's marked right on the line by Garden, but I think Garden should have gone back and had his kick. Now the umpire, I think, might make him come back. And if it hadn't, it might have been, as you said, Pete, he might have put his foot over the line.
Well, he was right on the line, and he turned around and kicked it. I bet his foot went over the line, but I
think that's what the Swans players are indicating as we watch now. Garton taking the mark.
Oh, well, he may not have. But still, why wasn't it allowed?
Well, it is now.
Decision, doesn't matter. It's a goal to Garton anyway.
That's his second.
7-14, 56. The Bears with the Swans 21-8, 134. On replay, another look at that goal by Garton. The mark in the first place. Now, should he have been allowed to play on? Why not? Unless he was over the line.
Well, he seemed to pull his foot back. He may not have gone over the line, but it was a strange decision that he wasn't allowed the goal in the first place.
Ironmonger and Micken opposed yet again. They've rucked non-stop, certainly in the case of Micken all night. Ironmonger had a brief time on the bench as Bayes goes long towards full forward and puts the quick reply on the board for the Sydney Swans. Well, Brisbane work and finally get a belated goal, and that is the rebound answer from the Swans.
Well, that was brilliant football from the centre once again. Now have a look at that quick hand pass out to Stephen Wright from Merv Neagle. A lovely hand pass to Bayes. There's nothing more exciting than to see a good left foot kick on the run, and Bayes, there is no better kick in league football than Mark Bayes. He is a prodigious kick.
22-8 to 7-14. That's the scoreline. Depressing for Brisbane fans. They've been overpowered tonight by a very fast-moving, well-oiled Swans machine out there. It's knocked on by Matthew Campbell. Chance now for Dennis Carroll going across his own half-back line, battling with Norman. Scramble develops there out towards left half forward, and we'll have a bounce. The crowd is staying on. No doubt most of them will. I would imagine 99% of them. Sydney fans. And they've been treated to some very good play on football tonight. Micken is up, wins it down. Battling in there is Rain, spins out of the pack nicely, feeds the hand pass to Campbell. Campbell goes long down towards full forward. One-out contest. Buckley in front, Carter from behind. It spills backward of the pack. Carroll arrives on the scene, does it well, gets a good shepherd from Roberts, feeds the hand pass out to Browning. He's away. Browning from left half back, sends it towards centre wing. What a good kick that was. Morwood from behind had the best position but couldn't take the mark. Coming away as Waterson sends it back towards right half forward. Pack into the air. Coleman arriving late, fists away. The crumbs come to Carter. Carter props, chips in short. Good vision by Carter. Evans waited for the ball to come. It was knocked away. Banfield goes to ground under a tackle, an illegal one, and he'll get the free kick midway between right half forward and centre half forward. Murphy on the ground. Ironmonger is off. There goes the kick down towards full forward, and a good mark. Well, almost a mark claimed down there for the Brisbane Bears.
Well, actually, I thought it could have been against Rick Norman for putting the hand in the back first. Look at that. Hand in the back, a bit of a push out, and then almost a mark, and the umpire, I think it was the right decision.
From the bounce, a big pack of players around it. Coleman takes the tap. Evans puts it towards goal, but what a magnificent game Dennis Carroll has played. A great leader. Not allowed to play on as the player was not on the mark, and so the umpire bringing Carroll back. Carroll superb at centre half back right through the night. A lovely kick. Excellent mark there by Campbell. Hand passes immediately to Rains.
Played better, Bobby.
Played a lot better in this quarter. Stacey coming through. Can he snap truly? It's smothered off the boot. An awkward bounce. Comes straight through there to Roberts, though. Taken by Bolton. Bolton, a floating kick. An awkward one, if anybody to mark. But Peter Smith does well to take that one. In the front, the ball was really floating around in the air. And Peter Smith, who started the game at full-back against Warwick Kappa, couldn't quite handle Kappa and spent quite a bit of time on the interchange bench. But can he kick a goal now? 45 metres out. Gets the distance, but not the accuracy. 1 point to Smith.
I'm sure that, Bobby, Peter Knights would be still experimenting with a lot of these players and positions. Obviously, Mark Roberts will stay at full-back, but they've got to find a position for players such as Peter Smith.
Carter puts the ball back into play, and we see Peter Knights a little worried. The hand pass comes over the top to Banfield. Banfield, a floating kick down forward, but this is where the Bears have their real problems. There's not enough height up forward, and Coleman takes the easiest of marks.
They badly need a good key forward to take over, a focal point.
The Swans getting a little bit sloppy here, overdoing the handball. That was silly play and could have easily have come undone. They cannot afford to overdo that sort of play, as Carroll this time goes up towards centre wing and Holden takes the mark. He plays on immediately, directs the ball across the ground into the centre. Browning's there, slips, can't take the mark. Gets good support from Mitchell, but too much of the overplay, and it comes back to Rains. Well tackled. Rains' hand pass goes straight to the opposition, and the Bears not quite good enough to take advantage of those mistakes. But the Swans getting a little bit flash now as we find the hand pass coming out to Mitchell. Over the top, Evans takes the ball. The long kick from Evans towards half forward. Mark Roberts coming out, can't quite take it. Tony Morwood across towards Murphy. Murphy swings back onto the right foot, now onto the left. Straightens up, gets past. Cop one too high, but he plays on. Cops it all the way and puts it right through the middle. Excellent play, David Murphy, to take the Swans to 23 goals, 8. 146. The Bears, 7-15-57.
Well, David Mitchell's kicked 2 goals, and you wouldn't see a better goal than that. Look how quickly he picked it up. He dodged around, balk, had a look to see if he could give it to someone, then another balk, then he was collared, copped one round the neck, but kept his eye on those goals, kept going, and slammed it through for a brilliant goal. And he's an exciting young player, David Murphy.
146 plays 57. Clock running down now. We've played a minute and a half of time on. As Rains, who's had a pretty good second half, gets it across to this man Stacey. Stacey goes by hand across to Evans, and Evans goes goalward and misses. And they're the sort of opportunities that really must be converted at this level. And he missed by a long way. Rod Carter. And straight down the middle. Wobbly kick. From behind, it's fisted forward by Smith, taken by Carroll. Doggedly tackled out there by Williams. It spills back to Carroll, gets a hand pass across towards Mitchell. Still it's Mitchell battling. Garton slides in. Ball spills out. Tapped across there by Smith. It came to Campbell. Campbell gives it to McIver, who goes towards half forward. Almost the big mark taken on the forward line by Norman. The hand pass comes across here to Dixon. Dixon goes goalward and gets the 8th for Brisbane. They're 8-16. Sydney 23-8.
Well, that was much better teamwork by the Bears. A few players had a hand in that one, resulting in the goal. As you see, this young Ross McIver on the left foot, bringing it down towards half forward. Now, there was a strong contest there, and a hand pass was by Norman across there to Dixon, and Dixon slammed it through. But I can't help thinking, Bob, it'll make a big difference if they can get a taller player like McCarthy into the side up at centre half forward.
They badly need height on the forward line, full forward and centre half forward. Banfield gets the short kick forward. Dennis Carroll smothered the ball beautifully, but Evans gets a hand pass to Garton. Garton to Stacey. Stacey being told that he's got all the time in the world, steadies and puts the ball through, and this will do the Bears a lot of good with their confidence as Stacey brings up his 2nd goal.
Well, that was excellent play again, and resulting in that goal to young Stacey. As you see, right from the centre bounce, Micken got that one down. A hurry kick comes up towards the half forward line. And you see a strong play that by young Craig Evans. A hand pass coming across to Stacey, backing up beautifully and into the open goal. We wouldn't see better football than that if they can continue in that vein, but more of it. They seem to tune off for long periods, and their disposal is poor.
Micken with a hand pass, not a hand pass, a tap out there to Smith. The Bears still fighting it right out, but still giving away foolish free kicks. Now's the time, and they're just not manning up, and the Swans virtually do as they like once they gain possession of the ball. Mitchell's kick. No mark taken. MacGyver coming through, shows courage. Campbell takes it, gives it across to Rains. Rains with a wide kick looking out there. Evans was the player who couldn't take it. He comes away from Norman. Evans picks the ball up and puts it up towards half forward. Murphy was up high. Shows good judgment. Bayes gets a hand pass out now to Kappa. Kappa couldn't quite get past his opponent. A loose hand pass. Could be a push in the back. He rode that player into the ground. That was Merv Neagle. And Peter Knight saying, down and pick up your man. Don't let them run away as we have been doing. Rains foolishly giving away a 15-metre penalty. And this is not the sort of leadership that the Bears need. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. It's a type of play that the Bears are looking for at this stage. Merv Neagle, 45 metres out. Running towards the goal square. Morwood up high, couldn't take the mark. Tap wide by Roberts. MacGyver comes across, very close to the boundary line. Can't quite be kept in play. Over the boundary line, in fact, on the full. And the free kick will be taken down there by Grant Bartholomew. Bartholomew, and although we did last year call him Bartholomeus, Grant did say before the game that Mum prefers Bartholomew.
You don't argue with Mum either, Bob.
Tony Morwood, superb forward tonight. To the cross the ground. Micken couldn't quite take the mark. Roberts got into the back of his opponent, but it's called play on. Picked up by Williams. Across to Micken. Micken's kick missed by Reynoldson, but he backs up well. Tried to get the hand pass into Dixon. Dixon's short kick. Runs past the centre. It's well taken by Quirk. And as the siren sounds with that hand pass from Quirk across to Evans, the face of McClure, O'Sullivan and Knights tells the story with the Sydney Swans 23 goals 8, 146 easy winners over the Brisbane Bears, 9-16-70.
Find out what the big league is all about tonight. Under lights at the Sydney Cricket Ground in the National Panasonic game, we saw the Sydney Swans emerge comfortable winners by 76 points, 23-8, 146, 9-16-70. Nats, what does Peter Knights do after tonight's game? Does he go home, run a hot bath and slash his wrists, or does he sit down and really look at tonight's game objectively?
No, it's not that desperate yet, Grant. We've got to remember it's only early days. I thought it was a very disciplined effort on the part of the Swans. Tommy Hafey deserves congratulations for moulding together a very, very tight and determined unit. I think they'll do very well this year, the Swans, so it's no disgrace for the Bears to have come off second best tonight. They can only improve.
We said at three-quarter time that the Swans have been playing together for many, many games, and this was the Bears' third outing together, so we can expect a lot of improvement.
Yeah, I think on the night, you'd have to say it's a fairly gutsy effort. The scores probably indicate that the vast difference between the two sides, but nonetheless, let's face facts. There's only room for improvement. These guys are keen. A lot of them have got a lot of work to do. We'll sort the wheat from the chaff in the next few weeks. Peter Knights knows what's going on, and I think we'll find that a different side in a couple of weeks.
I think once the Bears get back to what is anything like a full-strength side, and you include players the like of Neil Hine, Jim Edmund, Bernie Harris when his clearance becomes official, Gary Shaw, Michael McCarthy, Ben Harris from Adelaide and John Fidge, those players can really add a great deal more depth and strength to the side. Yeah,
a wealth of experience there, Grant. I had a good look at Neil Hine on Saturday. That's his first outing after knee surgery. He's 6'8". He moves like a rover. He's going to be a great asset to the Bears this year. Johnny Fidge played well. Bernie Harris, well, we all know Bernie's experience with Fitzroy, a great little player. Hopefully we can get a clearance for Bernie. Unfortunately, we lost Mark Withers this week, but all in all, the guys tonight, I think they've put in. They just weren't up to it, but Rome wasn't built in a day, Grant. I think we've got to be objective. I'm really hopeful that Knightsy can pull them together. I know they're keen. I've been to see them a few times, as have you, and I think the future's bright. I mean, let's face it, it's taken the Swans 5 years. Their fifth year this year to reach the finals last year. So, you know, we're not out of the race, mate. We've just got to be patient. It just takes time to mould these fellas together, you know.
Yeah, and the good thing is that it's going to be a learning process. We look at the quarter-by-quarter scores, and the Sydney Swans led at every change by 14 points at quarter time, 4-2 played 1-6, again wasted opportunities, and that happened right throughout the match. 9-5 played 2-8 at half-time. That was the ball game as far as the Bears were concerned. The Swans increased their lead at three-quarter time, going in 16-6 to 5-12. Bears came back a little bit in the last quarter. I don't think it was because the Swans relaxed. I think it was just a little bit more endeavour and perhaps a little bit more pride as far as the Bears were concerned. Going down eventually, the final scores again 9-16-70 the Bears to the Sydney Swans 23-8, 146. So all is not lost. Improvement must come, and it's going to happen over this season and also next season. We'll take a break and then we'll come back and look at best players and goal scorers after tonight's go. Let's have a look at our best players as we saw them throughout tonight's game. Nat, your best on ground?
I think I'd have to give it to Barry Mitchell. Bolton played a great game. Morwood played very well. John Ironmonger, when he was on the ground, played well. And Carroll played a great captain's game.
As far as the individual players were concerned for the Bears, I thought Matt Campbell played pretty well. So too did Philip Walsh, Mark Williams, Stephen Reynoldson tried hard. Rick Norman, Mark Micken, Jeff Rains. Well, in the second half, I would have given Norman BOG for the Bears, followed by Philip Walsh. 4 solid quarters, Micken 3, and I think we must pay tribute to Mark Roberts when he came on up against Warwick Kappa. Really curbed Kappa and I thought played well. What about the Swans?
Well, we've been through the Swans. I think we'd have to give it to... I think Mitchell was probably the best player on the ground for the night, but very, very hard to pick good players, Grant, when a side plays as well as they did. They all played together, backed each other up. If we can have a side as good as that in 2 or 3 years, I think we'll be more than pleased here in Brisbane.
I think we shall, and I don't think that the critics are going to have a field day. They probably will, but you can laugh while at the moment, but things are only going to improve as far as the Brisbane Bears are concerned. Our next appointment with you is on Friday, the 27th of March, when Fitzroy take on the Brisbane Bears, their first game for VFL points under lights at the Sydney Cricket Ground. That's our coverage for tonight on behalf of Nat Jackson. Nat, good night to you.
Good night, Grant.
And good night to you. On behalf of the crew, a very good evening.